welcome to Never Enough Gaming, podcast where we just talk about any game, all games, from Banjo Kazooie to Candy Crush, whatever. And today we have Corey and Dominique.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. And we're talking about Banjo Kazooie today.
Yes.
Game
Woohoo.
developed by Rare, published by Nintendo in 1998. Yep.
Oh, it's good stuff.
So, we all have played the hell out of this game, pretty much. Yeah?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, probably since I was 5, and I'm 28, so.
That's about the same with me. I think I
Yep.
was 5 years old when I first experienced it, and I've been playing it pretty much ever since. And I'm 30 now.
I think about the same. This is one of the first games I have memories of. So,
The
I
very
remember my
first for
dad
me was
playing it.
Sega Genesis, but the N64 got introduced to me like shortly after, and Banjo was one of the 3 games that was like with it, that
Hell
came
yeah.
with it when I got it.
Nintendo 64 was definitely my whole life between Super Mario 64, Tetris, Turok, Banjo, any of them.
Star Fox 64 was also a huge one for me.
the only Star Fox game I played is Star Fox Adventures, which is not a Star Fox game.
I liked it, but I do agree that it's not quite. Star Fox 64 is, in my opinion, the best one, or like tied for Assault, because everybody complains about Assault, but Assault was like really good.
That's the GameCube one, right?
Oh yeah.
I need the.
Sorry, I'll wind up taking us off track like a million times. I got.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. You know,
on that.
this is
Me
just
too.
it's not. We're not too serious over here. We're just gonna vibe and talk.
Sounds good. I love it.
Very well.
And you said you played Turok, right?
Oh yeah, my dad was actually super into it, and I'd watch him and my mom play like the battles in the game, and I played it sometimes, but I more so loved watching my dad play it. I love the sound effects, the music. I saw a TikTok the other day of somebody playing it on their live, and boy, that brought me back. I haven't heard Turok noises in years.
Yeah, I'm playing it for the first time. I bought the remaster on PS5, and it's so amazing. Like enemies react the way you shoot them and shit. It's so cool.
Is it
I
like
had-
is it so it's remastered, so is it redone or is it the same game from
It's
back
pretty
in
much
the day?
just a port. It's pretty much the same, except for aiming with the analog sticks are way easier now.
Awesome.
Yeah, that
That's
N64 C stick movement
Oh yeah,
was crazy.
yeah. My controllers, the N64 was rough for me because I play with my controllers upside down on every
way.
system. Yeah, like I flip
Oh,
my
I forgot.
controller.
People
I
did
don't
that. I
know.
forgot.
I don't know why. It's just how I've always played games. So if
That's
I try
the
to
first
play
I've ever heard of something like that. I think that's kind of cool
Oh,
though.
really?
Yeah, I've
Oh
never.
my god.
I've heard of people like using the
inverted
Uh,
controls,
well,
Or-
holding them not by the middle handle and the right handle, which is how I've always done it. I've heard of people holding like both of the outer, you know.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
just gonna address
That's
that. I
what
was
I
gonna
do.
say I always hold the middle handle and the left handle.
really?
Oh, what, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's like so many different ways to, and that's
Interesting.
one of the things I like about Nintendo is that there's little things like that are just like so interesting, and you don't even really think about it, but it's just part of what
Yeah.
they've done.
That's
I love
so funny.
all their systems. Like me personally, I love the Wii U.
Dude,
I've
me
never
too. I
played.
just sold mine. I kept it long enough to make sure I experienced Star Fox Zero, which I was unfortunately underwhelmed by.
I own that on Wii U. I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
have never played.
it again scratched the itch, but you know,
It's a good system. It's good for certain things. Like it right now, it's my Wind Waker machine, basically.
oh yeah, I had Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and I actually experienced Breath of the Wild first on the Wii U. I played it primarily on the gamepad.
Ooh, is it good on the Wii U?
I mean, I thought it felt a lot like Switch. I just played it straight on the gamepad. I didn't use a TV, so it felt a lot like playing it on the Switch, which I did, a few years later.
That's cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, I always like that about Nintendo. All their weird shit they do.
Yeah, dude, Nintendo's like super innovative, and I've always really enjoyed that. I will say though that I didn't really like the emphasis on motion controls. I mean, there's some games like Skyward Sword that, like, I've heard a lot of people complain about Skyward Sword, but I actually found the controls to be like super duper fluid. I guess a lot of people disagree with that.
I never got around the Skyward Sword, but I did hear a lot of people complain
so much
about the controls.
It's weird because when the game first came out, and this could just be a media thing like it tends to be, but like it was like super duper praised and, you know, almost won Game of the Year up against Skyrim for that year.
Damn.
But shit, I forget where I was going with that.
How people were pissy at the motion controls.
Oh, yeah. My overall point was just that, like, I have always really enjoyed sitting and playing a single-player game, like, with a controller and not needing to, like from the Wii and onward, the hardware has always seemed somewhat gimmicky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I wonder if in some ways that's taken from the quality of games.
I mean, there's like less games, I feel like, these days. I'm a big PS2 girl, and there was every type of game for everybody on that, and like there is nothing for like the new PlayStations, and honestly, I have the Switch, and there's not much for that either. Everything is kind of boring, or I love the world games. Yeah, and switching from Banjo Kazooie on Nintendo 64 to the Switch, oh my god, the controls drive me insane.
Have you played it
time to get used to Switch controls?
Have you played it for the Xbox?
I played it a long time ago, but I didn't have an Xbox myself, so it wasn't very often that I got to play.
Right.
That's what my most recent playthrough was on Xbox.
I actually found the controls for that to be somewhat better than the Switch ones, because with the whole bindings to the right, the C-stick being I found that to be a little weird, whereas the Xbox trigger pulls for the Talon Trot felt way more comfortable to me.
The Switch controller drives me absolutely insane. I need to get that like fake Nintendo 64 controller for the Switch.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that would be the vibe, but oh my god, just even holding it is just not the same. It's not the same.
I've always felt that the GameCube had the sickest controller. Like,
I love the GameCube
funky.
controller.
It just felt so much like I was playing a video game. I felt secure in that I was playing a video game.
First-person shooters could be a little weird, though.
Oh yeah, you're right, actually. And you know, I missed out on like the whole wave of, like, when 2006, 7, 8 started rolling around. Like, I never did hop on the whole Halo, Call of Duty, Killzone, like all the matchmaking. I
played all of those. I love them all.
I missed out on them. All of my buddies played them, and I remember, like, 10 whole years passed by, and I finally tried to kind of get into that genre because I wanted to be able to play with people, because I play very little online gaming. I try to find people who play Mario Kart with me, and it's just nobody plays it, you know?
Boo. Boring.
And I was so...
No, I mean they need to get on that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
No, yeah. I'm team Mario Kart for sure.
I'm team Garfield Kart.
That's
oh my God.
What? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing.
You're messing with me.
There's 2 of them.
Oh my good gravy.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
This up.
Yeah.
What's this on Switch? Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
Like PS5. There's Smurf Kart that just came
too. Smurf Kart. Oh my goodness.
They
did that on purpose.
Nickelodeon racers too.
Yeah, there's like 3 of those.
Yeah.
There's I am kind of interested in the Sonic one. I remember there was one that had the nuts and bolts version of Banjo and Kazooie, and I don't remember like what it was.
Oh really? Huh.
Yeah, it was a racer for. Hold on.
I think I got the Sonic one for free when I got my Switch because I rent-a-centered it and it came with a game.
Hell yeah.
Sonic All-Star Racing is the one that they were featured in.
Yeah.
Sonic and
right.
Sega All-Stars Racing.
I've heard of that one. Yeah. I heard that's a great game. Also, another one is the remaster of Crash Nitro Kart.
I haven't played that either,
oh,
but I want to because I do remember Crash Team Racing being like super fun.
Oh yeah,
and I'm picky with. I'm super picky in general with games, but racers.
Oh, me too.
Especially.
I really
love
being
picky in the modern age.
Yeah, because there's nothing to pick from. But I don't know what this is called. I know there's a name for it, but I love the games where you go world to world and you have to find things and achieve things and unlock areas and
like,
those kind of games.
like a collectathon or
Yeah,
like
it's
Yeah,
a tried and true
yeah.
method of. I've heard
Yeah.
Metroidvania be used to describe
right, yeah.
specifically the whole needing an item that you have to like have via story to progress.
Which
Yeah, I
Banjo
love
kind
those
of has
things.
elements of.
I've
Right, and
always, it's a tried and true, satisfying way to play a video game in a
Hmm
3D space, and I've always felt that Banjo does it literally the best.
Especially Tui does it a lot.
I agree. A lot of people feel that it was too big, but I found it to be like the perfect size game with like the perfect amount of. And another thing too is everybody complains about backtracking, and it's like,
Yep,
what's
I
the
made a
what's the
post
big deal
about
about back? I mean, I've always found it fun. I can understand like certain tedious things, but I mean,
it makes the game
That's-
longer and more interesting because you're like, oh, I gotta go this. It makes it more interesting, and you have to use your head more. You have to remember more. I
Yeah.
like it.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I'm playing Paper Mario right now, and like half the game is backtracking. It doesn't bother me though. Like there's always more stuff to do when you backtrack. You find new shit. Like you got new abilities to find stuff. Yeah.
Plus, backtracking is like used in the modern age anyway. I remember playing like that main Tomb Raider reboot in like
Yeah.
2013, and it was all about like warping back to places that
Mm-hmm.
you already were. I can see how it's like shaped and executed differently in an older game like Banjo Tooie, but like I just didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought it was cool that
I thought it
you
was
were
so
outside of Grunty's lair, yet the worlds were still somehow like connected, and you could like, you know,
Yeah.
complete tasks like what's the word?
It's super interesting to me that how big Tui is because you go up to certain parts of each world and you're like, oh, how do I get in here? And then you're 3 levels up, you go somewhere, and then all of a sudden you're back at level like 2, and you're like, oh, this is what this went to, and I find that so fun.
Yeah.
I remember when I was really young, Tui felt like huge,
Yeah.
and in the span
Mhm.
of like 6 whole years, I still didn't like have like everything. It felt impossible to complete as an adult now, of course, though. It feels more condensed, but it still feels like it's got just the right parameters of how big the worlds are. And I've heard people complain about how big the worlds are too, and the main complaint is like how empty it is, but I don't know. I just don't feel that way. I
Yeah,
thought it
me
was fun
neither.
to
Yeah.
I thought it was fun to run around and climb on everything, and
Yeah.
I don't think any of the worlds feel empty in,
Yeah,
in
no.
Tui, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the main one that Pterodactylan was the one that.
Oh, but that's supposed to
getting
be
that.
like that's supposed to be empty. It's
I mean, the
dinosaur
mountain's
land.
hollow too. Yeah, I mean, like that's part of the point. Of the
Yeah.
design of that one. Like,
How they get the
stomping
ideas?
plains.
How they get the ideas for each having so many different worlds? How they got the ideas for Game 1 and Game 2, Kazooie and Tui? I wouldn't have been able to think of that as a designer. That there's so many different contrasts between all the levels, especially like Fire and Ice Land
The
or whatever.
themes, yeah, the themes are always
so
really cool.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
They're
Even with
crazy.
Pterodactyl Land, I don't remember it being that empty.
You know what I thought was really cool? How they did Gobi from the first game into the second one. Like how
Yes.
he's like when you get him in Click Clock Wood, how he's like, "Oh, I'm going to the lava world," and
Yeah.
you know,
Well, he was
Really
then
supposed.
there.
Tui comes out and
I don't know. Do you guys know much about the stop and swap stuff?
oh yeah,
Oh my god, that stuff! Google was not like fresh, but kind of fresh way back in the day, and I used to look stuff up on the computer, and I used to have to look up that stuff because I couldn't fully grasp it, and still I almost can't fully understand it.
I remember there being a period where I was like confused as to like if it was something that was actually complete within the game that you could somehow like complete.
They
and there was
completed
some
it
secret.
for like the first game. It's the only one they really completed it on.
Yeah,
And even then, there was still stuff you couldn't get, like the ice key. Is it?
Yes,
I remember when they brought it all back around for the Xbox ports,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
wound up giving you stuff in nuts and bolts
Yeah.
and like gamer icons and stuff like that. But I still feel that was a though that felt like the official answer to the whole mystery thing. It was just a little underwhelming. I think it was cool that they wanted to do something about like using hardware,
Yeah.
like swapping one game cart to the other.
Then Nintendo told them no.
Yeah, because they had updated the how like Ocarina of Time has like version 1.0 and it's got like the chanting in it, and then like every release after like 1.1, 1.2, they all don't have that chanting. It was the same with the N64 consoles, I think, where it was like the first round had the ability to hold memory from one cart while you take it out and then put another one in, but then they had started manufacturing version 1.1, which didn't have that, but Rare had already started programming this whole stop and swap thing.
Yeah, they had plans for it to go to Perfect Dark, Donkey Kong 64. They
Can you
had
imagine like a super interconnected like Rare
yeah,
badassness?
Jet Force Gemini was supposed
Conker's
to have
Bad
it.
Fur Day would be cool.
Yep, they said there was in a sort of recent interview with one of the people from Rare. They said there was 6 games that they had planned for it.
For what?
So stop and swap.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they had so many plans for it. It
You
would have
guys
been cool.
think they're going to do another Banjo game? Personally, I do. I think they're just seriously waiting on the right time.
I think so too. I think
I
we
hope
will.
so.
It might be a while, but I do think eventually we will.
I've been like, I remember back in like 2011, I think I was like 19. That's when I first really started digging, like getting on Reddit, like other sites that have like information that other sites don't.
Yeah.
Like trying to figure out if something was, and that was right around when Yooka-Laylee was being announced on Kickstarter. And every couple months I'll do like a really deep dig into the, like Google and whatever else to try to find and see if there's anything Banjo related. And there's been lots of times where it was pretty convincing, but what I will say is that throughout all this time of watching and hoping and this and that, there's never been like such a blatant mention the way that Phil did when he was like, Banjo fans, we hear you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
That was a while ago too.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. Like, I just do not think that they're gonna not do something.
I hope so, but Microsoft is being a little ridiculous right now.
Yeah, you kind of don't know what to expect.
I mean, they just got rid of a company that gave them one of their highest rating games.
Well, then there's the whole Toys for Bob getting bought out.
Oh, did they buy Toys for Bob?
They did, and Toys for Bob is already working on a new game, a mystery game.
Yeah, they put out that a photo on Twitter, that picture.
And then people thought it was
X.
Spyro 4 because it was purple.
But it has the Crash mask in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, see, I would be. We don't. I hate to be that guy, but like I felt comfortable with Crash got all the remasters and then he got his sequel. I think that is that exact thing needs to happen to Banjo Kazooie. I think the remasters would be fine if that's the way they want to play it, but like I don't want to stop hoping for a 3E. You know what I mean? If they're doing like another Crash, it's like, oh, why? Because we also got that Crash Rumble or whatever it was, where it's like basically Mario Party for Crash.
I fucking forgot about that.
Dude. And
I kind of want to try it.
I don't want
same.
Crash. Like, I love Crash.
I know,
but
there's so much Crash. It's like the one thing that, like, even if you're not a gamer, people know what Mario and Crash is, but it's like, what about us little people? Like, what about the other stuff that millions of people are in love with?
We don't need Banjo.
The Last of Us?
We're getting a Gex remaster, and yes.
Dude, I posted about that in the Rare page. And I, like, because when they announced the Gex, I was like, this and still not Banjo Kazooie. Right. It's like you're literally dodging Banjo to get IPs that like nobody. I mean, some people remember Gex. I played Gex.
Yeah, me too.
But like, come on! It's like, what is next? Do you remember Tigger's Honey Hunt? Like they're gonna remake that.
And Piglet's Big Adventure in the game.
Yes,
I had that.
Yes. Oh, it's so frustrating.
Someone said something about The Last of Us.
Yeah, I was just asking if you guys had played it. I played it recently for the first time.
Oh, really? Which version did you play?
I first played. I have not played the original PS3 version. I played the remastered version on PS5, and I
Part
loved it
1.
No.
Oh.
Just the remastered, and I loved it so much that I then played it again immediately after Part 1.
And that Part 1, I played the PS4 remaster, but I never played Part 1. That adds, like, mechanics from 2, right?
Well, I've actually not played 2, but from what I understand from the YouTube videos I've watched, yes, like the bow
crawling
is crawling, bow aiming, like the reticle for the bow is apparently the way that it was in 2. I can't like speak factually on that. I think that's what they said. I do know that it's different from the remastered version. Like Part 1's bow reticle is definitely different from the remastered's, bow reticle.
Yeah, when we get to that for the podcast, I'm definitely going to play through Part 1 for it. And, man, I know there's a lot of controversy about Part 2, but I fucking love it. It's one of my favorite games.
There's controversy about that one?
That's a joke, right?
Well, no.
Oh. Well, yeah.
I actually don't know. Hold on, let me see what's up here.
Well, don't, because you'll hit spoilers immediately if you don't know what happens.
Well, I do know what happens. And I don't like it, and that's kind of a huge reason why I haven't started it yet.
Oh, okay.
You're like, no, don't go, no,
don't do it.
I remember, and so I didn't even know, dude. Like, I finished 1, and I was like, well, there's number 2, and like that night, like when I first beat the remastered version, not Part 1, but just the remaster, I like open YouTube. And I don't know if both of you know. I don't want to spoil anything for either of you guys.
Well, let's not say directly, just because maybe people listening don't know.
Right. So the title, like a video with the title of exactly what happens, is like right there, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I'm like,
shit.
like that's just ruined the whole thing for me.
And before the game came out, there were leaks about what happened, and it's exactly
really?
it was exactly what the leaks said happened.
Oh.
Now, if only we could get the leaks we keep seeing about Banjo.
Yes.
Have there been leaks about Banjo?
There's been. There was one guy recently. I don't remember his name. There's so many. I'm like old and don't have like. There's so many names on like Twitch and everything else. I'm so behind.
Yeah, I'm only caught up on that because we have 3 teenagers.
I have a buddy that's like doing pretty nicely on Twitch and stuff like that, but it's like, you remember me telling you I kind of am unfamiliar with Discord as well. I usually use
I'm new to it too.
Software and like Photoshop and stuff, but like everything Twitch, and I mean I use TikTok a lot.
Oh yeah, big
I
time.
do like TikTok.
Yeah, dude, I like a lot of horror stuff.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yes.
Yes.
Banjo leak. Let's just put that up. Nope, I'm not talking about a leaky Banjo.
Find some cool stuff on Rule 34 about that.
Banjo Kazooie leaks. Alleged Xbox showcase. Oh, what? This is 4 days ago. Hold on now. Don't do this to me. Don't
What are they
do
saying?
this to me. Alleged Xbox showcase leak has a new Banjo game revealed toys for Bob.
When's the showcase supposed to be?
That's a good question. Hold on, I want the picture here. It says it doesn't even say who
awesome.
the leaker is. It says anonymous. Which, yeah, but it says new Banjo game reveal toys for Bob, along with Fallout 3 remaster, Starfield DLC, Indiana Jones.
Oh come on,
June
give
9th.
us a banjo.
Is that when it is? Dude, I do think
June
they're gonna.
9th.
I do truly think they're gonna. I just think it's a matter of when. Because I remember in like late 2021 or 2022, there was somebody who leaked something that did seem kind of promising. It does seem like we're in an atmosphere now that is more promising than usual. Yeah. And I think all the merch that's coming out.
Yes, it's the merch. It's the merch for me.
I think they're like testing things, and which I think is like the smart thing to do, and I think it probably happens. I mean, they've even gone on record saying that like they're not doing it because they don't think that there's demand. But when all these, because didn't there was the Funko Pop, but then there was also this. I keep seeing this where
it was like an off-brand Funko Pop type thing.
Yes.
Well, not an off-brand, but like
it holds the controller. Like Banjo holds his hands out, and you can put a controller on it.
Oh, I did see that too.
Ooh, I want that.
Yeah, that's the main thing I've been seeing.
Yeah, they're probably
Besides the
seeing
Funko Pops.
who's buying merch still and how many people are in like that want it and how in demand it is, and then they're like, okay, well, there's still people that are reaching for this stuff, so they're I feel like they're definitely the Funko ones. Really, that's what did it for me. I go, this just came out. Why is it coming out right now?
Blatant selfishness. I don't even care if nobody else wants it. I just want them to make it.
Yep.
I just want them to say. I just want them to say, like, at least a little clique wants it. We're gonna do it. That would just. I could die happy, and because I seriously. Like, I'm really, really into some of the stuff that I'm into. Like, some of the bands that I really like I'm really into them, you know. That's just how I am when I consume media.
Passionate.
Out of all the things that I really, really like there seriously is not anything more than a sequel to Banjo Tooie that I want. I want, like, that's the main, like, if the media gods came down and were like, you can have one thing, I would totally pick Banjo 3E.
Yeah, that's why I joined this group. I mean, every so often I would get like little banjo memes on my page, and then I just found one meme that I liked, and I noticed that the ones that I was seeing was from the same group. So I joined the group, and I was like, this was the best decision of my life. These are my people.
Yeah, there's some good stuff posted in that group.
Yeah.
The Jiggy posting one.
The Jiggy Look Back, the guy on YouTube. He's actually a super nice guy. He's been putting out lots of YouTube content for Rareware in general, but there's a huge emphasis on Banjo Kazooie and Tooie. And I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I've been kind of trying to. I'd like to do some kind of content with him, just because I want to do anything banjo related.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well,
we haven't even. We're supposed to do like a world by world thing, aren't we?
We'll get there. Yeah.
Intro.
Hopefully, we'll get Banjo
intro.
3 by the time we're all 40.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I just really, really hope so, man. I do think they're gonna.
Hell, I'll be 80 in line buying the new Banjo game. Hell yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna invest in cybernetic enhancements just to keep myself alive long enough for Banjo 3E.
Hell yeah.
Do you remember when they were doing memes about how Tool was taking forever to come out with their next album? I don't know if you guys are fans of Tool or rock music or what have you.
I am. I like Tool, but I haven't kept up with Tool recently.
I'm not huge on Tool, but there's been so many things in media that have come and gone about because System of a Down took keforever to come out with new music, and then
but they hate each other.
Yeah. and it's just Banjo keeps getting by. Banjo's gonna win the record for the most anticipated, but what's the word? Drawn out.
Yeah, I hope when it does come out, it just sells fucking crazy, just to show the developers oh, we should have done this earlier.
Yeah.
I really bet it will.
I think
I'm
so.
just scared that they're gonna implement something that just isn't true to.
Yeah, watch. We'll get it, and it will be a sequel to Nuts and Bolts.
Something like that, or just something that is just so. What I'd like to see is something like Breath of the Wild, or maybe not quite that big, and
I would still want separated worlds instead of one big open one, though.
The more I think about it, maybe that's not what I want. I like the idea of, because it's the type of platforming you do, it's you would want it to stay. Your areas would need to justify the move set, so you would.
Yeah.
It's you can't go too big, but at the same time, I would love to see maybe a flying mechanic that was on a broader scale.
Yeah.
Let's say that you wanted to leave one world and go to another one, and instead of just entering some door or pathway, you can actually go there.
Right, now they would have the capabilities to do that because less
And they
loading
could, like,
screens.
They could like bring back Chuffy, you know?
Oh yeah,
And like
yeah.
like what if there's like only the eyes of Old King Cole left or something, or like just his head, and he's like, oh, I managed to turn Chuffy into a jet or something, or like they reworked it, you know, and maybe it can help you. There's
a lot they could do. There's so much
opportunity,
especially with how goofy the series is and all the crazy characters. There's like unlimited shit.
I had a dream one night that they had come out with a remaster, and it was like you played it, except it didn't go the way that it did originally. Like, I remember, like, you shoot the eggs at Conga, and it's like he did something different instead. And it's like, and Banjo and Kazooie are like, wait, aren't you supposed to da-da-da-da-da? Kind of like how they did with, like, the remaster of Conquer. Things like that, you know, where...
I only played the original Conquer. I know the Live and Reloaded. Didn't they fuck it up pretty bad?
Well, they bleeped out way more than they should have.
Oh, okay.
Like, they bleeped out stuff that didn't even really need to be bleeped out, even, like, during that time period, because now it's like more restricted on what you would bleep out. But there were moments in the game, Live and Reloaded, where like the dialogue would change and it would reference the fact that it's a remaster. Like, it would break the fourth wall and be like, "Hey, aren't you scripted to like do this here?" And it's like, "Oh, well, I suppose I am," or whatever the dialogue is. I can't remember, but I always imagined, like, just creatively, like, what if they remastered Kazooie and Tooie, and in both of them, like, things happen differently, you know, that aren't according to the original games, and all the way it leads you up to think, like, why are all these different things happening that aren't quite, and then that somehow ties into the plot of 3E. Like,
and that would give them enough... Good, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Like, because Grunty's, like, at the end of Nuts and Bolts, she's, like, in a game factory, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what if she is the one that made, like, 3E, and she like, causes certain things to happen in the remasters of 1 and 2?
Dude.
Like, it's almost like she's building an army. Like, what if she, like, gets Conga from 1, and that changes the dialogue in the remaster of 1? Like, this type of stuff, you know what I mean?
That actually would be really fucking cool.
I think
that's
such a cool
idea.
undertaking, dude.
That's a really good idea.
I had that in a dream, dude. It came to me, and I was like, oh, my goodness. And I made a big post about it, too, and, like, nobody cared, which is fine.
Oh, my God, I care.
I had to express myself about it. I was like, oh, my goodness, what if they, you know...
You need to send a strongly worded email to Rare.
Yes, seriously. That's a brilliant idea. That is, I like that.
And that would fit in the stuff that happens in, you know, Nuts and Bolts and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would just be such a cool and loving undertaking.
For the record, I love Nuts and Bolts.
I really need to sit down and fully beat it, because
I love
the older
it
I get, it's
for
like
what
I
it
don't
is.
hate it. Yeah, it is different, and it, like, when I do try to play that game, I spend a lot of my time not in the vehicle. Like, I just want to run around and jump off stuff. And
I always stick with the blueprints, too. I don't make my own cars.
Same.
I'm not good at that.
I tried making an R-Wing.
Oh, nice.
Star Fox once, and wasn't very good at it. I will say that the controls for building the stuff that was pretty dang good. Like, yeah, for what it is, it's pretty good. And it feels good to see all the Banjo stuff referenced in, like, Banjo Land and stuff. But
oh, yeah. And if you want, like, you can actually do some intricate stuff with it.
Like what?
Like, there's a lot of, your vehicles, there's a lot of add-ons you can put on them, from, like, weapons and...
Yeah, I know you can fly and, like, everything else.
You can make boats, planes, cars, whatever.
I wonder if Tears of the Kingdom drew inspiration from that, because I have been playing the hell out of that.
I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. I played Breath of the Wild, but is it good?
I'm a big Zelda guy as well. I like them both.
I've only beat Wind Waker and the original Legend of Zelda. I've never played Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
that's a nice
one.
But
I am playing Majora's Mask right now for the podcast, and I'm really loving it.
Oh, that's a nice one too.
That's the most Zelda-y of the Zelda games.
Yeah, I just got past the first temple. I like it a lot.
It's very weird compared to all the other Zeldas, which I always thought was awesome. I actually have a huge Majora's Mask back piece. tattoo.
Ooh, nice.
Like it's a huge mural that takes up my whole back.
That's so cool.
I love that tattoo too, and it's not even done. I have to get it finised.
I want to get more tattoos. I got a turtle on my finger.
That's badass.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. Is it Tip Tup?
I was just gonna ask that.
No, but that's just such a good idea. I want to get my arm with a bunch of, nerdy ass game stuff. But
I think it's cool that they had like a character parade.
yeah.
Like I like another representation of how the parameters of Tui were just right. Like when the character parade and the credits ran, you remembered each character.
Yeah,
and there's like an official render. Like if you look up Banjo Tooie official artwork on Google, you'll see a picture and it shows like all of the characters of Banjo Tooie like together against a white background.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's like you remember all of them. They're all memorable.
Yeah, even at the end of Banjo Kazooie, they don't have a parade or anything, but it does show you all the characters and their names.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's cool that they even went out of their way to name all these.
It's not like an actual parade. That's like what they called it, I believe.
Okay.
There was somewhere in the menu, I remember, as a kid, it was labeled a character parade. I think it might be in like the menu where you can rewatch the cutscenes and stuff.
Cool. I like the little stuff they added. Like there's you can replay the bosses and Tooie and all that.
Oh yeah, the boss rush. I actually really liked their multiplayer.
Oh shit! I forgot that multiplayer.
Oh yeah, you can.
What is it?
It's basically all the mini games. And you can choose to do, like, it gives you options. You can do some of them, all of them. I used to get Tooie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay,
that's really cool. I didn't know that.
Because they had older now, I can see that it looks like they implemented it just to kind of get that 007 crowd, because a lot of the mini games focused on the shooting mini games, whether it was third person or first person, with the whole
Kazooie gun.
Yeah, what's the name of that move? I should know that.
Egg shot.
Let's find
Beak something.
Banjo Tooie moves.
Beak blast.
It's disgusting how much of a nerd I am for this.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I personally don't think so.
Yeah.
I just.
Nope, that's why we're here.
Exactly.
Is there anything that you guys associate with Banjo and Kazooie that, like, because you played it when you were so young, that like is unique to you? Like I associate.
Anytime I see a jigsaw puzzle.
Right. I actually, on my browser right now, I was just looking at while you guys were talking. There's a jiggy on my toolbar, and I'm like, look at that. That's perfect. But I didn't want to bring it up because like that would have been so random. But there's actually, I'm looking at a jigsaw piece right now, and I'm like, oh, look at that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
My mom introduced me to the song Unforgiven 2 by Metallica around the same time that I was introduced to Banjo Kazooie, so for some reason I associate Spiral Mountain with that song.
That's interesting.
And it's that's just so weird.
It's like Spiral Mountain, Metallica.
I guess
Goes hand in hand.
Speaking of Spiral Mountain, should we
talk about it and all the vegetables?
Should we? I don't
there?
even know. Now it feels like we shouldn't. Because we've like.
Well, we can just drop. We can just take a little visit to each world and give our thoughts on it.
I would love to do that.
Well, I just want to say the game starts off with Grunty kidnapping because she wants to be beautiful, so she takes a little child.
And young. We can't forget young.
You're gonna kidnap a kid because you want to look better.
I think, there's some moral stuff happening. Well, more than there already is.
Yeah, man, Grunty just straight up kidnaps a kid.
Yeah, so she can have boobs. Better boobs. They make her super hot.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like, when you're already, it's like, who's she gonna date? It's like, why does she...
Clungo.
Oh. Or Mumbo, apparently.
Yeah, yeah, because Mumbo will drop out a dime if he sees anything with.
I thought that was so
tiny
funny
waist.
on the game over screen. How he, you know what else I thought was weird? How like him and Humbawamba, when they were enemies in Tui, they're like married in Nuts and Bolts.
Are they?
I believe so.
Interesting.
I remember being like, "What in the world?"
I'm surprised they brought her back for Nuts and Bolts, considering how controversial she was.
Yeah, it was kind of like a stereotypish type thing. But,
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
even
her-
down to the...
but
Her
that was in
vocals are like,
2008.
Hina.
Yeah, it was like super. I remember in Kazooie with the Indian dude with the snake, or not the. Well, yeah, he does.
Yes,
have the snake,
yeah.
Yeah.
But he also has that pink thing that King Jingling has in Tui. But his speech is like woodicut. It's
Yeah.
like, it's
Yes.
like super duper like.
They're just trying to be inclusive. Like,
Yeah,
fine.
I've always. I mean, you can tell that there's no like ill intent.
no,
No,
definitely.
you know,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think that's what you know what I mean. If it's like if there's no ill intent, then isn't that just representation?
Yeah, right. And it
Yeah.
was and no excuse to previous behavior, as they say now. But like, it was also the 2000s, and that's
Yeah.
just what
A
they
lot
did.
of shit in Conker's Bad Fur Day definitely
Yeah.
wouldn't fly.
Oh, yeah.
I recently, and by recently like 2 years ago, played through Conker's Bad Fur Day. Both the N60, I emulated the N64 version, and honestly, that's my favorite version because I like that aesthetic of Conker. And then I did Live and Reloaded, but the
Excuse
whole
me.
sunflower, bless you, the whole sunflower scene, they totally couldn't
yeah.
do that again, man.
Did they keep all that in Live and Reloaded?
Yes.
Okay. I've only played a couple hours of Conquer. It's on the
Dude, it's such a
schedule.
good game. It's not as the controls are like a little more. It's not like there's a delayed response. It's just like I don't know how to describe it. The animations, like when you walk forward, it feels different than when you're walking forward in Banjo Kazooie. Because like when you stop in Banjo Kazooie, Banjo stops. Like when
Yeah.
you walk Conquer forward, it almost feels like you're driving a tractor, and you have to stop like slightly before.
Yeah, I remember playing Conquer in that beginning area. You had to do some platforming, and it was a little rough at times.
Yeah, it's a bit different. When you get it though, I mean it's doable, and that's almost part of like what makes it feel good. Kind of like
Yeah.
Oddworld, you know, it just had its own way of controlling.
Yeah.
That once you got it, it felt satisfying to like know.
Agreed.
I'm gonna segue that into the Spiral Mountain conversation. When you begin that game, I love the idea that the first world is where you learn the base of not everything you need to know, but like a lot of things you need to know.
Just about.
And
Yeah.
it forces you to test everything out so you're comfortable going into the game. And you're pretty much set up after Spiral Mountain. You know
you
the
get
idea of
rewarded
the
for it,
game.
too.
Right. You know the idea of the game, and it's very simple. The enemies aren't aggressive, but you have some enemies. And it's very basic layout, but still really detailed at the same time. And I think that's a really good intro for a game, is like that.
I think
that
it's
they
one
teach
of the
you
best for
everything.
sure.
Me
I think
too.
Spiral Mountain is like one of the most quintessential starting world tutorial worlds.
Not only is there great things in there, but you get like weird ass interesting enemies, big-eyed vegetables. You get, introduced to brilliant music. The music in Spiral Mountain's amazing.
It's very realized. Like the whole thing is like the name for it, the design of it, the colors are confident and vibrant, and it just flows so well.
The vegetables.
Yeah.
And I like how there's no like justification for them either. Like there's
They're
no
just there.
Yeah, they're just there, and they literally just hop around.
Wait, do they eat these alive vegetables?
Yeah, like that's another thing. It's like what is the purpose? I remember in Conker's Bad Fur Day when you fight the hay guy, or like before you fight the hay guy, he like when he spawns, he's like, time to wander around aimlessly, and it's like that's exactly what video game characters in general, but them rareware vegetables.
They even have a little bit of swimming, so you can get an idea of the swimming controls, because they have that like waterfall, and then they have the moat or whatever you want to call it.
Banjo Kazooie's swimming mechanic. The Banjo games have the best swimming. I didn't like nuts and bolts of swimming, but obviously that like platforming and moving around wasn't the focus there. But
the swimming is pretty easy to get used to.
I hate swimming levels. I don't care what game it is. I hate swimming.
I mean, I'd rather not have them, but, it's not that
it is
bad.
good.
For me, it depends on, like, how it's done. I remember kind of, like, not liking Clanker's Cavern and stuff like that.
Cavern. Oh, my... Cavern. Oh, my
About $1 for every time I've done that.
Drives me nuts. It's right at the beginning of the game.
I do dread it when I'm playing, like, just trying to get through the game like I do. I'm like, let's just get Clanker's Cavern over with. But I still manage to somehow enjoy it. But yes, for the most part,
Clanker's adorable. That's why. Like, he is like this big rundown dude. But they make all the faces in the game so endearing. It's so cute.
It has the best character in the game. Gloop.
I used to hate that the walrus would run away from you and freeze Easy Peak. It's like, don't worry. I'm not going to hurt you.
He says some rude stuff to you, though.
He does. Yeah. Dude, that walrus is racist. He'll only talk to other walruses.
And he talks shit about you when you talk to him in walrus form.
Yeah. Well, do bears eat walruses?
Polar bears?
Is that a thing?
I know they eat seals,
I think. Bears.
Find
out. Eat walruses.
Polar
bears will occasionally hunt adult walruses.
Maybe that's what it is.
Now we know. Isn't it? He says something, right? He's like scary bear or whatever.
Yeah, he's something terrified of you.
Doesn't he call him Stinky? Or does he call the little walrus Stinky?
Stinky is such a funny word to me. Imagine, like, I sometimes spell it Steenki for emphasis.
Stinky.
Stinky.
Also, with the Spiral Mountain, the cool thing about exploring the whole thing, you can get a whole honeycomb set here.
Yes.
Like, you can get a little advantage and get an extra life bar.
Oh, yeah. All the little tasks that Bottles teaches you.
Yeah, and when the whole honeycomb fills up and you get a new extra life, that's a wonderful tune.
And you get your memorable little jingle. So many jingles in that game, dude. So many jingles. Because even the collecting the feather is like a whole ascending
the golden
flute
one.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So good. Like
Grant, I have a buddy who's a bass player I do a lot of stuff with, and he is like one of the only other Rareware music fanatics I've met like in person. And he really, really respects a lot of Grant stuff too. He like does some covers on Instagram, and his name's Will Weiner. And I don't know if you guys like follow Grant on Instagram or anything like that, but Grant
I should.
No, I listened to an interview from him once, but
he just the way his brain works for composing is just so cool, dude. And it's just
brilliant. There's not a bad song in the game. There's not a not memorable song.
He's like the old Disney of Rare.
Yeah, man. He's totally on that level.
Yeah, like it's been like a month since I beat Kazooie, and even now, like, I went to sleep last night and I just hear the game.
I was thinking of doing a cover of Grunny's Lair, like a rock type deal.
Ooh, that'd be cool. I'd like to hear
it
that.
would be a lot of fun. Have you guys heard of, I don't know if he's just called Jules now. He was called Family Jules on YouTube. He does a lot of like rock covers of Rareware stuff and just video game stuff in general. But I've always found that stuff fascinating too. Yeah, that composition-esque stuff.
Check that out.
Do you guys? So have you guys experienced Banjo Tooie at all? Like, are you like Spiral Mountain or are we? That's right. We're talking specifically about Kazooie's world.
Well, you could talk about some stuff about Tooie if you want. Like, what were you going for?
Just that Spiral Mountain. Besides Grunny's Lair, that's like the one location in Tooie that's also in Kazooie, like pretty much one for one.
I don't remember much of Spiral Mountain and Tooie.
It's like apocalyptic. It's like
run
down and destroyed essentially. Well,
Yeah, I know you
Boggles,
see that.
Music is like in minor now. Like they changed it to a minor key, so it's all like.
yeah, because
bad sounding.
Boggles is dead.
Is
Yeah,
it
they
right?
They kill bottles, dude. That's so crazy.
Isn't it
Boggles
raining
is
too, or
dead.
no? I feel like
No,
it's
not in the game.
No?
In the
Okay.
opening cutscene, I think it rains.
okay.
But it's just perpetually daytime.
That is crazy. It's just,
Is there a day-night
Kill them.
cycle in Spiral Mountain and Nuts and Bolts?
I
I don't know.
don't think so. You're not there much in Nuts and Bolts, right? Just the beginning.
I think it's like the big prize you can unlock at the end. I know it's where the final
Oh.
boss, like it's where you fight Grunny.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, and I know that.
Yeah, I
like,
never
after
completed
that,
it.
You can explore it, and well, that's why I wanna get to the end just so I can experience the most modern way of. I also don't have Super Smash Brothers, but I want to get it just so I can like play the Spiral Mountain map,
Yeah, I don't have it either.
just to see what it feels like to stand as Banjo and Kazooie again,
Yeah.
like in a modern, Spiral Mountain.
Does
What
do
is
the
that
DLC add?
Oh, Switch
Yeah.
what?
Super
There's a
Smash.
spiral. There's a.
and
oh
Super
my-
Smash Ultimate. Yeah, Spiral Mountain was an added map.
Do they add items from the
up.
new characters too, or no?
That's a great question. I actually don't know. I know that you can fire eggs
Oh my
Banjo.
God.
and grenade eggs too. Yeah, the grenade eggs
That's cool.
specifically are. Yeah, I love the grenade eggs, dude. They were the most practical eggs.
Yeah,
And
and that
Tui.
was a really great add-on to Tui. Was like making the eggs more interesting.
Dude, imagine what they would do
Oh, yeah.
if they did 3E. Like if they took all the best elements of 2E. Like you could aim eggs underwater, you could aim in the sky. Like if they like really did that, it would just be so cool. Like you could make like the world's best platformer ever if they made like Banjo 3 and like really did it lovingly and with like a fully realized way of going about it. Goodness, I hope they. I heard you mention the date of the Xbox Showcase thingy.
Yeah.
When was that?
June 9th.
I'm putting that on my calendar.
We haven't even
Yeah.
made it to Mumbo's Mountain yet.
No. Should we
That's
move on to
all right.
Mumbo's Mountain?
Yes, go ahead.
Let's enter.
Also, I was going to say I'm looking forward to that showcase and the THQ showcase coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are hoping for a new
Capcom's got something
Darksiders,
soon
but
too.
oh, I hope so. Oh man, I love Capcom so
Too. I
damn
want that
much.
Resident Evil 9 info.
Oh yeah. All right, Momo's Mountain.
Yes. Sorry guys.
The first
So-
land.
The first thing you notice here is all the collectibles around you, from feathers to eggs to notes. Like, there's so much. Jinjos, honeycomb pieces. Am I missing anything? Mumbo skulls.
I like how the Jinjos are like all on pedestals in this
Yeah,
one.
All
pretty
of them.
much.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like there's one just on this outcropping. It's not a stump. It's just a
Yeah.
all piece of earth.
I could have sworn there were evil Jinjos in this one, but that's Tui. I
That's
kept waiting
Tui,
for an
yeah.
evil one to pop up, but it never happened.
Minjos.
Yeah.
They're
you
so
also-
cute.
The Jinjos or the Minjos?
Jinjos! Woo!
I love the Jinjinator at the end, how it's like super,
They're all cute.
And then you get some cool NPCs here too. Like you meet Conga here, who's pretty cool, and then you meet pretty much Diddy Kong, it's a little monkey in a
that
red
little-
hat,
Oh
Chimpy.
man, Chimpy.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Does
Looks
he have
just
a
like-
hat?
Yeah, he looks just like Diddy Kong. He has a hat too. It's crazy.
I never thought of that.
And Conga has the same monkey yell as Donkey Kong in Mario Party 1.
Ooh,
I didn't even think
that's
of
a
that.
cool fact. I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that they like recycled a sound.
Because I was playing.
I miss when Donkey Kong had monkey noises instead of
Yeah.
now he goes like "Whoop," and all this other stuff. But I
Right.
miss when it was like he actually sounded like a monkey.
Yeah, I knew it sounded familiar to me, and I was playing the classic Mario parties with the kids, and one of the boys always picked Donkey Kong, and he makes that noise. I'm like, oh shit! I'm so glad I caught that.
Mario Party's
You know,
awesome.
Oh yeah,
It's a really amazing factor that the first world in Banjo Kazooie's Mumbo's Mountain and that's where you meet Mumbo, and then he is effective for the rest of the game. So you get to meet him, understand what he does, and that's his world where he originates from. I think that was a really good idea. So it's not just like this random character. I mean, like it could have been a random character that they just put in the game and you have to do stuff with him. But the fact that they gave him his own world to kind of introduce him,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that
I
is
love
cool.
that.
But what is he doing in that shack in the graveyard?
All day.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that's I don't know what's going on there, man. But
Me neither.
Mr. Mumbo has some peculiar interests, man.
Well, he goes on vacation, so
Yeah, he's he's got an affinity for jazz
Yeah, he does.
because
he plays the saxophone, is it?
Yep, and when you go into his it's like
Yeah, it's a good little tune.
It's very, very jazzy.
Dun, 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 dun. Is he kind of like, so we were talking about voices earlier and how, kind of crosses the different places that they're from. Does he kind of give off like Jamaican vibes to you guys?
That's the vibe that I got.
Kinda, yeah.
It's almost like the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy from Cartoon Network, how he's a Jamaican.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
yes, and I love that series.
Me too. And
That series is like crazy
So good.
funny. That
He has a
series
little
is like
bit-
violently funny.
Yeah, I still watch it, so I definitely agree. But he has almost like a Jamaican accent. I know he only goes yo, but it has like a Jamaican tone to it.
Yeah. I love how he says Mumbo best shaman in game. Like I love how they know it's a game and like they like and I want that so bad and like
Breaking that third
3E.
wall.
I didn't
Yes,
catch that.
I want them to be like I want them in 3E to say things like, like all the people that played our old games are in their 30s now or whatever. Like there's so many things that could be written into the dialogue that,
I love when you turn into a character, whatever land you're in, he turns you into whatever character. I love, and I'm sure some people were mad that for a while that they didn't realize this, but if you try to leave the world, you don't have to go all the way back to change back into Banjo. He'll change you himself because
it's nice
the
when you learn that.
magic runs out.
I half like that and half hate that. I like it for speedrunning, but I hate it for like I think it would be super cool to like just walk around as well. I guess practically it wouldn't be. I guess when I was like a little kid, it would be cool to like run around, see how far you could get as one of the transformations. But I guess now, thinking it's like, well, what would I really do?
I remember being a kid fucking around with it, trying to see if I can get farther.
Yeah, let's see how far I can go. And then there's one place that you can.
I do remember doing it over and over to see how far I could get, and I was like, I'm going to break past this thing. Of course, you never can.
When you're the pumpkin, though, you kind of get to have that experience because you have to go to the back of the cemetery
Cheeto.
and you have to go through like the fiery land, fiery area. There's like a tiny little hole and a tiny little path that you have to be the pumpkin to use.
But also, that's like the one I'd least want to run around as, though.
Yeah,
I know. He has no moves. He's just.
I hate the part
cute.
that you're talking about there because it's the walkway gets so freaking narrow and
your point of view, it's hard to tell.
It's
hard
dark.
to control the point of view. It's dark and Pumpkin Banjo bounces the wall.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my god, dude, they're like setting you up for failure.
I talent trot everywhere I go,
Me
I've
too.
fallen off a few times there.
I remember my dad's girlfriend when I was a little kid would just be like, how can you bear these sound effects?
No pun intended.
Yeah. Oh god. Because running around was just, it must have been so much fun voice acting that stuff.
Oh yeah, like oh my god, what's his name in Treasure Trove Cove? The captain.
Captain Blubber.
Yes.
Yeah.
His whole entire dialogue is burping.
Yeah, that's oh my god, how creative this series is, dude. It's just so wild.
Treasure Trove Cove. That's a wonderful land.
I know in Sea of Thieves they put a reference to Treasure Trove Cove. I think it has like an island or something.
Really?
Because
that's badass. I haven't played that game.
I haven't either. I just
know that
there's
like
some
a
Banjo
decoration
stuff
you
in
can
there.
put on the front of your ship or something. That's like a bear and a bird.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of cool.
You jump into a treasure box. You jump into treasure to get into the world. I hate the shark though.
Dude, I hated that. There was a Jinjo right under the little boardwalk, and you like had to. I would jump backwards off of the when you appear in the world, like when you appear on the platform. I would run towards the screen, jump off, dive down super quick, and that's how I would do it.
Yeah, and I would try to get that out of the way. If I was doing Jinjos, I was getting that out of the way because I don't want to deal with it. I'm not dealing with him.
I still to this day don't know what it takes to raise the island up out of the water. And as a kid, I never got it to come up out of the water. But
I used to. I can't think of it now.
Yeah, I still don't know what the requirement is.
I know I looked it up back then because I was like, I want to know what that mountain does, but I don't remember now.
There's a mountain that comes out of the water?
Yeah, in the water.
Do you remember the little sign sticking up out of the water near the entrance where it says Shark Food Island or something like that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that mountain fully comes out.
Yeah,
it's big too.
Yeah, it is a stop and swap thing. Can you actually access it, or do you have to fuck with the codes?
You can. But it's like how?
Yeah, I've gone in.
I've definitely done it in the Xbox port,
and it's almost. Sorry. Keep going.
No, you're good. I don't even know where I was going to go with that anyway.
Well,
so you're good.
To my memory, there's a tree on the inside, and you have to hop around it, kind of like in Click Clock Wood, how you have to go up that up the tree there. I think there's slots like that, and I think that's how you get to the top, if I'm remembering correctly. But I know I've been in there.
That's basically correct. Yes, it's like an outcropping of earth. It's just a vertical outcropping of earth that has like a bunch of slots in it that you jump up.
Huh.
How'd they get the lighthouse up there? Who built that?
That's a good question.
I guess, honestly, I bet you it was an island at one point, and that's why there's a wrecked ship at the bottom.
You know what I just realized? We skipped Grunny's lair. Or is that... maybe that's the last one.
We can come back to it. Grunty's lair is after every world.
Yeah, you're in it the whole time. It's pretty much the pathway to every single world.
Yeah, it's your hub. Different parts are blocked off by note doors, which if you collect everything in each world as you go, you can get through it fast.
Yeah, and the grunty switches.
I think you can skip a whole world if you want.
If
you want to beat the game.
It's definitely worth mentioning the sandcastle with the cheat codes that you can do.
Yeah.
That's another thing that made Banjo so interesting is you could go back to the house and like do that whole thing with. There was a lot of weird stuff. Like you could do cheats. Grunny would erase your file.
There was a weird bottles minigame where you have the jigsaw minigame if you go in first and look at the picture in Banjo's house.
Yep.
Oh yes.
I completed that one time for the achievement, and the final part of it, some hard shit.
Yeah, it really is.
I remember it not being the easiest thing in the world.
No, because eventually over time you have to turn the puzzle pieces, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And Tui does that as well.
With the regular ones, right? Like the world painting or
pictures? Like to unlock the next world, you would have to do an actual puzzle like that, and it's pretty much the same thing. And you got to turn them and all that stuff.
Yeah. I like in that how you can see a preview of the world while you're doing the puzzle too.
Yeah, that is. Yes. Oh, that's so cute. Everything is so cute to me. I get like cute aggression about the whole game.
Yeah, it's.
So we're on Treasure
everything cute.
Right now. Oh god.
What else?
That means that Clanker is next.
Yeah.
What else? We talked about Captain Blubber, Nipper the crab, big old crab.
Oh yeah.
Where
does he go?
Right.
He goes in the shell, but it's like he just disappears.
Because you go in his
I used
shell.
to wonder that when I was a kid.
And it's like a long cave. And how does this make sense?
He just disintegrates.
And there's crabs in there too, like little crabs you can kill.
Yep. There's like 2 or 3 of them.
Isn't there a Mumbo Skull in there?
I think so.
I think there is.
Also, it's kind of fucked up whenever you kill creatures in this game, like crabs or the termites in Mumbo's Mountain, they just explode in like 10 pieces. It's kind of brutal.
I remember initially being disturbed that the crabs would make an E noise because it felt to me like that's maybe what a crab would make if you crushed it in real life. And I was just like, ooh, that's alarming.
Yeah, and if your first shot at it, if you don't kill it right away, it flips upside down and like, oh.
Yeah, dude, when you roll into it or what have you.
Yeah, they flip upside down.
If you slam its life away.
Yeah.
It's if you just do the beak barge, or that might not be the name of the move. The one where you the ground pound.
Yeah, the ground pound.
If you do that can do it in one. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I didn't know that. I always just rolled into them and then ground pounded them.
Right.
They come at me too much, so I'm ground pounding the whole time. I'm like, no. It's like stepping on a spider. Except I don't kill spiders. I actually kind of like them, but it's like stepping on them immediately.
I actually like spiders, but cockroaches I can't do. I got a big problem with cockroaches.
No,
I like Florida too, so it's like they're everywhere.
Spiders actually terrify me.
My dad
I
can't
have no
do
idea
spiders.
why.
My dad acts like a little girl.
Like, I know they won't hurt me, but I don't know. I think I'm just racist towards
them.
them.
It's the idea that some of them will. Some of them will, and that's what brings the fear for all of them.
Yeah, there's probably an instinctual, like,
maybe,
long-running, like, human instinct to be afraid of them because they're venomous.
Yeah.
Is there any other? Me too. Is there any treasure trove? Anything else that
should be mentioned? On?
The music. I don't think so. Great music.
That music goes really hard. I mean, for God's sake, it's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it's so good.
I could just sing the whole thing.
I think the music's part of the reason why I never get tired of exploring the worlds. You know.
I think there was an initial version of the music that you can find on YouTube that. It was going to be before it was this. I think what we got in the game was revamped.
Oh.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I'm right in that. I could have swore.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, man. Cleaning music.
Yeah. Honestly.
Beta music. Yes, there is a...
Oh, there's...
Yep.
There's a beta soundtrack.
There sure is. Treasure Trove Cove had beta music.
Ooh, I'm going to have to look into that after.
Yeah. So let's talk about our favorite place, Clanker's Cavern.
No.
So, I do feel like when it comes to emptiness, I think this is... Actually, no. Rusty Bucket Bay is probably the most empty to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with how they're shaped. Because it's like...
It's because they're swimming levels.
That's a great point. Yes, because that whole big space under the boat, dude. I mean, that's like, what, 75% of the frickin' level?
In Rusty Bucket?
Yeah.
Like, pretty much.
There's so much space in that water.
Yeah.
Half the level's in the boat, and the other half is underwater. Oh, I can't stand swimming.
Then you have to go in those a couple warehouses, which I didn't like either. Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude. The engine room.
Oh. Fuck, man.
Dude, and the engine room wouldn't be so bad if it's on the Xbox port. Because, like, if you go in there and you've collected all these notes, you don't lose them all if you die in Xbox.
I always forget
that's what makes me mad. Oh, my gosh.
In the 64 version, you lose all your note progress.
Dude, I do agree that should have been changed.
But at least you still have them in terms of, like, going to the next door. Like...
Yes, but not the note score.
Right, but not the note score.
And that's
because your note score is
I need to get it.
And that's what you've got in your inventory, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, Clanker's Cavern, I just wasn't a fan that half of the items that you need were through the tubes underwater. I didn't mind going inside of his body. That part I don't mind. That part was interesting. But the tubes, oh my goodness.
Yeah, super claustrophobic.
So much swimming through tubes. And if you forget which ones you've been down, you end up going to the same one you already cleared out, and you have to turn around and go back.
And to raise Clanker up, you have to go down and unlock that key and go swim through it 3 times.
To this day, that's still stressful, man.
Hey, I like it down there. My man Gloop's down there.
He is very cute. He's the vice. He's the vice.
Dude, getting the notes in the Jinjo down there kind of sucks because, like, you have to go in, like, a perfect circle on the ground. Like,
and you have to hit them pretty perfectly, too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm not chasing after Gloop for air bubbles. I'm just going to go up, refresh, and go back down.
Yeah, dude, because he's actually somewhat... It can be... I guess it depends on the playthrough for me. There's been playthroughs where I've been like, my God, like, why can't I get this damn bubble? And then there's other times where it's, like, super easy.
Yep.
Yeah, I've had problems with Gloop's bubbles. Yeah. So
I love how, if I remember correctly, I think he's, like, his dialogue is more, forgive me, but, like, stupid than other characters. Like,
I think so.
I think his dialogue is like a little mindless. It's like, oh, I'm a fish and I'm gonna give you air. If I remember, I could be wrong.
I mean, he is just
being like really comical.
He is just a fish swimming in an endless circle till the end of time.
It's so funny, dude. How Rare does that. Like, it's just the vegetables, man. The freaking vegetables. It's just so crazy.
That's about everything interesting. Well, there's Clanker, who's a big ol'... Is he like a metal shark?
He's a metal... he's Grunny's trash compactor.
But he bleeds.
Does he?
I know. Yeah, he has like blood
open gashes on him.
Yeah.
I remember when you went inside of him, the walls were like red. And like...
Yeah, there was like
the squishy sound when you walked.
Yeah,
because like all of the platforms are like... Not cell looking, but they're like meaty looking.
Yeah. I wonder if they were taking any inspiration from Lord Jabu Jabu from Ocarina of Time, because that's essentially the same thing. A giant fish, you enter it, it's got meaty walls.
But his skin is made of metal, though.
Yes, that's definitely a difference.
Lord Jabu Jabu's infamous water dungeon, right?
No, that's the water dungeon sucks. I hate the water dungeon, but Lord Jabu Jabu is... Because there's 3 dungeons as a kid, and then you turn into an adult, and then there's 6 or 7 more. The water dungeon is one of the dungeons you play as adult Link, and yes, it sucks.
Yeah, Clanker's the inside of him is the best part of that level. I don't mind.
I agree.
I don't even mind the major blade portion to get the grunty switch. Like, sometimes I don't even use the feathers. I'm just like, let's go, and just cut myself up.
I've done that before, definitely.
I've definitely made it through with no problems. Like, I've had runs where I'm like, I make it through, I time it perfectly. It's by accident, but it's timed perfectly where I don't hit any blades. But there's plenty of times where I'm just getting whacked by them the whole way.
Yeah, they killed me once.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I remember I would let Banjo get hurt just to hear what the sounds were, because there were so many. There were so many different little sounds. When you would get hurt.
And they're cute little hurt sounds.
Yeah, and now, I realize that a lot of them were taken from Diddy Kong Racing.
Right.
I wonder if you can find the files online.
Like, there's so much that, and there's things in Banjo that originate in Diddy Kong Racing, like Tip-Top.
There's also, like when you fall... It sounds almost like he's saying, uh-oh, whoa, but I hear a D. It's like, duh-oh, or something. Like, it's like those little specific questions I want answered.
Yeah.
I want to go and see if there's, like, sound files online.
I agree with that. He's like,
so I can listen to just, like, acapella stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
What world is next?
Good old Bubble Gloop Swamp.
No, that one is a hit or miss for me.
I like it. There's...
Sorry.
Good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good.
I dislike it more as an adult now, because when I play it, I save Mr. Vile for last.
Yeah.
And what I do is, because it requires me to go through... I'll do everything else, then I'll go to the next world, unlock the turbo trainers, and then go back to Bubble Gloop Swamp, go all the way through the maze again, just to transform into...
Yep.
And then do Mr. Vile with the... Yes. And that's just a dreaded part of a speed run for me, because it's like you get to the last jiggy of Bubble Gloop Swamp, and then you have to like go to another world. And so that's the one time I look at me, I'm breaking my own rules saying that I don't like backtracking.
I love the class of turtles.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes. They sing.
Did you just fucking beat him. Banjo just beats everything.
Yeah,
It's
I
fucked
actually,
up.
I had so when I was younger, and sometimes still now, I had like a stuffed animal obsession, and I had a problem with like throwing things away with faces. Like I couldn't eat chocolate bunnies because like I felt like everything had a personality in that game.
I can understand that.
And, you know, the movie Brave Little Toaster, things with faces, like I feel bad for them. Like I create my own personalities as is, and then if you show me a personality, it's even worse. So when you have to slam out the turtle's legs, and he's like, I felt
the big turtle.
so bad.
It's like a living being.
So bad.
You know what else? You know what else I thought was weird?
Oh no!
Did we lose? We lost the main
no.
fella.
Oh no!
Welcome
back. Phew.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Last thing I heard, he had a problem throwing stuffed animals away at faces.
Okay, so yeah, when I was younger, I had a problem like with things with faces. So like I couldn't eat like chocolate bunnies during Easter. I couldn't throw anything away with like a little face on it. It's still kind of now too. Like I got a problem with like I put a personality on everything, and with that, like Banjo puts a personality on everything. So when you slam the turtle's legs, and he quite literally makes that yelping noise. Oh my goodness, I felt awful, and I had to keep telling myself it's part of the game. You have to do it. You have to.
You know what I thought was strange?
Do
How
it for the jiggy.
That turtle, like the big turtle that you hurt his feet to get into that one is like alive, right? It goes and like and it coughs out the jiggy, but the alligator head like isn't like the one you enter to fight or to compete against Mr. Vile. Like it's got eyes and stuff, but like, is it alive? Like you kind of don't know. It's like why would there be a turtle that's alive, right, just chilling, and then there's like an alligator head that's like the same proportional?
Doesn't the turtle say that his feet are cold, or am I thinking wrong?
Yeah, no, he does say that.
That's the other vice. Then is like he needs.
Still hurts
this.
though.
Yeah, he apparently likes it. And another thing too is like, why does that cause him to throw up? Like you put his feet back in his shell, and then he just throws up this jiggy.
And then you go inside, and there's a bunch of turtles inside.
That's saying that there's like a class.
A whole class.
They live in there, I guess.
It's like the Sphinx in Gobi's Desert, where it had something. It has something stuck in its nose, and you have to shoot eggs inside of it to fix it.
Is that the next one? That is the next one, ain't it?
Ooh, is it?
Gobi's Valley?
No, Freeze Easy Pete comes first.
That's right. I believe you're right.
Love that level. I love Freeze Easy Pete.
That might be my favorite one.
So what you real quick with Vile? Has ever have troubles with that minigame?
I don't do it without. Yeah, even with turbo trainers, I still sometimes have problems with the last.
I
one.
never use the turbo. I know you're doing speed runs and stuff. I never use them because I feel like the jerking is too much.
Yeah, I shouldn't say speedrun because I don't like speedrun it the way that like professional speedrunners play it, but I do try to complete it like fast. Like I've never like truly timed myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
no.
A
speedrun's a speedrun.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. And then if you lose, he bites you. So you have to run out of there.
Energy.
You have to
How's
run.
that fair?
Yeah.
He assaults. Well, I mean, you did enter his house, his like fake alligator head house.
Whatever.
I guess.
He's the one who challenged you. It's not like you walked in, you're like, guess what? I'm going to beat your ass. Like, he's like...
His voice also... Yeah, you walk in there and he, like, disrespects you and is all condescending. And he's like, I bet you can't, like, eat all this stuff. And
I'm a bear, bet.
His voice, too, he's like...
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, he's got to go.
What an asshole.
Yeah,
that guy's
he
a
is.
dick.
Yeah, and a sore loser.
Let's see. Is there anything we haven't mentioned about Bubble Gloop Swamp that I cut you off there? I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, no. There's like that egg you have to smash. There's the huts that you have to smash.
Oh yeah,
those are just little side
I forgot
things.
about that. That's basically
destroying everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Banjo just basically comes into Grunny's house and fucks up every room in the house.
Yeah, Mumbo's Mountain, you destroy some huts too.
One point I'd like to make, I've always thought that, like, so think about how in Grunny's Lair, when you go to a place like Treasure Trove Cove, it looks like it's actually water that goes on forever. It looks like you're actually transported to a place that's completely separate from... If they remade it I think it would make a lot of sense to make all of the levels appear like they are like within a bigger place. And I think that would even help translate the art style, because if you go to Bubble Gloop Swamp, you can see that like the walls and stuff, they're trying to make it like a forest. If they were to remake it, instead of making an entire forest, instead have it be like metal walls with like a painting or like a crude paint job of like trees, so it, like you can tell that you're like still in Grunny's lair. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it would make more sense.
Yeah, I think that would be a great way to translate it.
Oh, another character, not character, but in the level Bubble Gloop Swamp, you have to shoot eggs into the golden alligator that pops up everywhere.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and his eye colors.
Yeah, with the
speed of
colors.
His chewing changes.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, you know what I just remembered? That the mosquito dudes or dragonfly dudes, they laugh at you if
they look like Sparks from Spyro. They look almost identical to him.
That's right.
But just bigger.
And when they fly at you,
yeah, dude, they see you and they get all pissed off.
I always have a problem with flying enemies.
Yeah, dude, I don't like the there's like little pterodactyl men with huge faces in Tui.
Oh, yes.
They're like little devils.
Yeah, I don't like the dragonflies. But I like when you turn on the game, once like smashes into the screen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Isn't Gator Banjo the only one that has an attack?
I think so.
Oh, let me...
Because the B version of Banjo and Kazooie, unlike in Tui, can't shoot the stings.
Yeah, the pumpkin can't do anything, and
because
the ant doesn't do anything.
The pumpkin's the last one, right?
I think the final one is the bee in Click Clock Wood.
Yeah, the bee is last.
That's right.
Yeah, there's not a transformation
you're right.
in every level.
The gator one is the only one with a defense mechanism.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, because every single one is just like, so you can go in the water or talk to different characters or do whatever.
And you
fit into spaces.
You'd think the walrus or the bee would be able to attack.
Yeah. I wish when you were the walrus, the snowman would stop throwing snowballs at you.
Oh, dude.
Those goddamn snowmen.
Because you can't move fast. You have to just, like, once they throw the ball that has one direction, like, where you're located at that very point in time, so you can move. But, like, I feel like when you're the walrus, they should be, like, on hold. Because you're part of the world now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That does make sense, and I could see it being that way.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me want to ask, like, if they've thought of it.
Yeah, I mean, you become part of the elements, therefore you're not a threat, just like you aren't to the walrus, so...
Yeah, you're, like, part of the world, so it's
they should turn that
part of the ecosystem.
off. Because you don't have a defense mechanism anyway, so it's not like you can hurt the snowmen. So, yeah, I just thought of that now. That should go.
I think out of all the worlds, Freeze Easy Peak probably has the most nostalgia value for me. Because I remember spending a lot of time on it.
You can be here for a while.
The deadbeat dad.
Oh, Boggy. Yeah, dude, he's like just, what is it? His stomach hurts because he ate a Jiggy. First of all, what the hell there?
Yeah.
Like that's how you find him. And then after that, he's not even like, oh, my kids. He's like, let's race.
He always gave me a drunk vibe.
Yeah, because if you talk to the kids, they say he went to get them presents, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
I think. I don't remember.
And then you just
that's
find
right.
them
You're not, and the kids
out.
are in the house. I'm always thinking about how they're. I'm always thinking about their Tui counterparts because the one's like fat and.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good incorporation. So they're crying too. They're not even just like, oh, our dad's gone. Maybe you can help. They're literally like
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're like straight up crying.
Upset.
I forgot about that.
Boggy is just like, fuck them kids. I want to race.
Yeah, he gets drunk. He's a drunk. He's definitely like
definitely.
That is definitely like when he ate the Jiggy. He's drunk. That's why.
thought it was like
yeah,
cheese
and then
or
like
something.
he
It's
throws
honey-colored.
up when you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think now that they were probably alluding to that. Which,
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That kind of takes me to Conker's Bad Fur Day again.
Right.
Or
I
Captain Black Eye and Tui, because he's straight up drunk. Like his face is green. He's
Yeah.
swaying around. He's got the mug.
I love how there's little houses, tiny little houses, like a village of houses in Freezeezy Peak.
Yeah, those
Oh,
little
yeah.
cute houses.
And the lights are on in it, and it's like,
Yeah.
who lives in there? Because they're so small.
It's so weird that it's supposed to be a winter level, but like it's a Christmas level because there's
it's
presents, a
definitely
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Christmas lights on it and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing, and that's a great soundtrack too.
I like that it's nighttime in that one because it's nighttime, but it doesn't feel like a dark level.
Yeah,
You know, whereas Clanker's
agree.
Cavern to me feels dark. Bubble Gloop Swamp sometimes feels pretty dark.
yeah, those dark green elements.
But Freezeezy Peak, though it's like nighttime, it doesn't feel dark. It feels like upbeat. Plus the music. God,
Oh yeah, music
the
definitely
music
keeps
in
stuff
this
beat.
whole game is
Beautiful.
just so. I think it's a game called Banjo Kazooie, and like the emphasis on like how they play instruments and stuff like that, and then the whole motif of like banjo and a kazoo being incorporated a lot into the soundtrack, like the pause menu, and
Yeah.
that's just
Yep.
so unique.
I always forget that Kazooie is named after their instrument too. Kazoo.
How do we feel about what are they called, munchies or whatever? The
Yeah.
little
Munchlings
monsters
or
that come
Crunchlings
out
or something.
Yeah, and then the little
Fuck them guys.
lights have to get to the trees.
I
And
haven't-
That's so sad because they like scream when they get eaten.
Yeah.
I have a sentence in my notes saying that you have to protect the twinklings from the twinkly munchers.
Yes.
So, I just thought that was a very nice line.
I wonder.
Those are the
if-
only things I don't mind smashing out because I'm like, don't hurt these little guys. They literally go,
Yeah, dude.
ah!
Yeah, those
Yeah.
guys deserve it. Those guys are assholes.
Ugh.
I wonder if it's the same sound file when you stomp on those green fellas as it is when you stomp on the turtles.
They just pitch it.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
sounds like the same. Like just one's higher, like the green.
Yeah, you're right. I almost want to put that sound bit into like my computer and change the
Yeah.
pitch and see if it's any different.
I'm willing to bet it's probably the same one.
I think the only thing I don't
Probably
like
is.
about that level, I mean, sometimes I don't like the race, but it's doable. But I
Dude, the race
don't.
sucks.
You just gotta
Yeah,
stay
the race
right in front of them.
sucks. Yeah, and you have to like go. You can't go through the middle of the posts. You kind of have to like take the turns on the
Yeah.
sides of the posts. But
Yeah.
the star on the Christmas tree flying through that in the correct time frame.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, I
That
guess that one's a little.
Yeah.
Sometimes it glitches, and if you get stuck in like the points of the star, it'll like ring it a couple times. That's I like that, but
I thought
that's
it was
very
cool
rare.
how they brought the termites back for this level, and they're in the Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love the sound of their feet when you turn into the ant
yeah.
or the termite and you or you're near them. The little tick 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 tick. I
And his
love
jumping
their
sound is
feet.
cute too.
I like.
Woo!
Yeah, and when he gets hit, he's like, "Ow!" Or wow, that
Yes.
wasn't very accurate, but you.
I know what
guys
you mean
know.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow!
That sounded more like Earthworm Jim. What I did.
And no matter what transformation, you still have your little blue backpack on.
Oh,
Which is
Yes,
cute.
that's just so genius.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. I forgot what it was, but it was like, oh, wait, no, I lost it again. No, I have it again. In Mumbo's Mountain, when you're a termite, or no, you don't have to be a termite. You just have to be around the termite mountain that you can go into.
Mm-hmm.
The music changes, and you hear like the termite samples.
Yeah, yeah. That's like
Yeah.
It's like ah.
yeah. It sounds
Uh-huh.
like
Yes.
I actually
it-
mentioned that to Grant once on his Instagram post. I had commented it, and I'm not sure he knew exactly what I was talking about. He responded with just like a smiley face, like that was it, just a smiley face.
I'm pretty sure in Mumbo's Mountain too, like you hear hop 2 3 4 in the music.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Hop 2 3 4.
Is that what it is?
That's what
Yeah,
it sounds like to
I
me.
feel like
I definitely know that it's a termite, like
Voice.
like voice sample like
Yeah.
thing going on.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, there's just what else I think is cool about this game? When you go in the water, you have like an underwater,
An aquatic version of the song.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's just done with love, dude. Like that's when you care about the game you're making, and
right, because they definitely do not have to do that. Like,
Yeah, that must have been so
Grant's
difficult
on
to
just a
program.
different level, dude. He really, really is.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really does sound like a muffled aquatic version of whatever's playing on the outside. And then the second you emerge from the water, it switches right back.
There's also the different Grunty's Lair versions, like when you're like near different worlds, like it gets tropical near the treasure chest that takes you to Treasure Trove Cove, and when you're about to go to the what do they call it? Grunty's Furnace Fun.
Yeah.
Like when you're approaching that warp pedestal that's got Tootie's face on it, you get like an almost ragtimey. Excuse me.
Yes.
Hiccups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it like
there's, like,
becomes
this game
big
show.
band.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
The music just carries this game a lot. Like,
So cool.
it's a huge part
So
of it.
cool. I also like how the model of Banjo in the gameplay doesn't have individually rendered fingers, but the models of Banjo in the opening cutscene where he wakes up in the bed when Tootie's getting kidnapped, he's got individually rendered fingers there, and he's got individually rendered fingers in the musical segment.
Let's say in the intro, right?
Yeah.
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 I always thought that
I
was
never
pretty
thought
cool.
about that. So next we got Gobi's Valley.
Yes.
Oh,
I
one more
love-
thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
yes.
With Breezy Peak, I kind of hated the Jiggy where you have to kill all the snowmen. I never could quite figure out where to aim at them.
I
Those
did find
guys,
it a
those
bit
guys are
tedious,
dicks
but
too.
tedious.
Woo!
Is it,
Yeah, Gobi's Valley. It's a desert world.
Let's talk about that snake man again.
Ruby.
I
Ruby
like
the
his-
snake charmer.
I like his hat.
Yeah, it's a cool little hat.
Oh, the snake again! I'm going back to the cute. The snake is cute.
The snake is cute.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
the little the stretching sound when he. So
you just
here's a
Climb
little
it like a
factoid.
tree.
This is when I was a kid. This is as far as I got. I couldn't do Mad Monster Mansion because I was afraid of the giant tombstones that would come up out of the ground and chase you. So
But it's also kind of difficult to find everything in that world.
what, Mad Monster Mansion?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Really? You guys think so?
Personally,
It's the only
yes.
one I really had to search around pretty hard.
Yeah, the whole like how you get on top of the hedges as the pumpkin, and
Fucking
yeah.
hated that hedge.
yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
a little like it. I don't know. I just kind of didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because you also got to like get up on the house and like go through certain.
Yeah.
It's just very intertwined in a way that I don't necessarily like. I like it more on recent playthroughs than I did like say 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, when I was a
Yeah.
kid, I had a hard time with it, but now I think I favor that level in the top 3 for me. But I
The
think it's
charm of
because
it wins me over.
it's the charm, and I love spooky stuff and like haunted.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
like scary games and horror games and stuff. Like,
Everything
I love
horror
watching.
to me is I
Yeah.
love horror. That's that's
I
like
could
one of my
live
biggest
without
things.
the excessive use of needing the golden feathers, though. That's the only thing I'm not really a fan of.
Oh yeah, with the ghosts. Yeah, I run into
Yeah.
a problem with that
Skeletons.
every playthrough.
And I always
don't
kill
like
him
it
with
either.
one. Like, I always waste one on him.
Yeah, and if
Golden
you have it
feather.
on for too long, you just run through them, and then you're like, okay, I need
Yeah.
more, and there is no more.
I tried to time it so it's like
Yeah.
perfectly of one, but
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Wait a minute, did we skip? We did. I feel like
Yeah, we
let's go back to
we
Gobi's
gotta go
Valley.
back to Gobi. We gotta go back to
I
Gobi.
keep trying to enforce the fucking world. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh,
no,
no.
so,
I
no,
get a little excited.
No,
I'm
this is
super
going
excited to
great.
talk
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. We're fine. Yeah.
So I remember as a kid, not only was this the last level that I would get to, but I could never get the Jiggy in the place where the roof would come down on you if you didn't clear the maze in time. I couldn't do it as a kid.
That used to scare me.
Yeah, dude, it's scary because it's like, damn, they die. Like that's crazy. Like the spiked ceiling comes down on them.
yeah.
I love
That's
all the
like
magic
some-
carpets.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of magic
inside
carpets.
the Sphinx.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
around the land and around the Sphinx too, or like in the sand. You travel around on one, but I love
Yeah,
the,
'cause you have to
the
take
noise
one.
of them.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
The music of this one's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And this This is another level that has, because it's eels that are in the liquid, right?
I
It's
think
little
so, yeah.
sand eels that
Oh,
get
yeah,
you
'cause
this time.
Right,
The first time you bite them, they talk to you, I'm pretty sure, and they're like...
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to the piranhas in Bubble Gloop Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the, floor is lava type stuff in these levels? Do you mind it?
I don't really mind it, and I think that in this game it's done just enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get through it without too much damage, like, if you need to. Like, sometimes I'll just jump in, and I'm like, okay. They give you enough time.
Yeah, if you want to, you can definitely cross it if you have enough health.
And if you jump, from place to place, I mean, in the sand, you go slow, so you kind of have to jump anyway. But,
Yeah.
I just, it's not too overdone. It's not too aggressive.
Exactly. Like, when you look at, like, the game itself, like, from a bigger picture, and you think, well, would you want to include areas that have that? I would think you would. I think it's good game design.
Yeah.
And
Plus, it
and I
gives
think
you
it
more of a
happens
reason to
just
platform.
enough. Yeah.
And it's a platformer, so.
Yep.
And it's like, it's almost like a form of enemy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I like that they do make things that hurt you, like, speak to you and hurt you, like they're actually little creatures instead of just harmful terrain, I guess.
Yeah, like Conga and them having like speech patterns too, like the box in Rusty Bucket Bay. Like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, the boombox thing.
Yeah.
Big boss boombox that you have to fight again in the furnace fun.
Is just something else, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gobi's there's some parts that I don't like. I feel bad slamming out the camel, but
Oh yeah, Gobi himself. We haven't mentioned Gobi.
Yeah, he's a camel with the hump on his back, and you just beat the shit out of it constantly wherever it goes.
You stretch out the one palm tree that's in there so you could get that jiggy.
Dude, the adult reference there. Trunker.
Yeah.
How? Because Kazooie says, "How's your nuts, bark breath?"
Yeah.
Isn't his? I think.
Yeah, I had that in my notes. Yep.
I think Trunker's voice is ridiculous too. It's like.
Yes.
It just doesn't even make sense. Like, how is that a tree? How is that a tree?
There are some NPCs that are just so strange, like the bucket in Treasure Trove Cove. It's just a fucking bucket with eyes.
It sounds like you're just tapping on a fucking metal bucket with like a spoon or something.
Yeah, and then you have to shoot
with
eggs
a little
into
bit
it.
of water in it. He has like a little bit of a water effect to his voice too.
The little mines in the water that look at you and they go,
yeah. Those used to scare me as a kid. I don't know why.
They scared me too, dude. You're like, fuck, I hope they don't see me. Because if they see you, I like that they couldn't come underwater.
That's what I was just about to say. Yes, I was gonna say that too.
We're reading each other's minds here.
Yes.
This is
and he has
fun.
like one tooth.
He has like one tooth. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and his mouth continues to move as he approaches you, but he only makes one sound. He goes, but like continues to like basically chew, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's menacing, man.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that guy.
Speaking of wrong guys, there's also a giant hand named Grabba.
That was my next point. That no.
So I made the mistake of not realizing that the hands had different names because there's a particular hand that holds a jiggy, and his name is different than the enemy hands that come up kind of just generally.
Oh, the Jiggy Mummy hand is the one that I'm talking about. That one pisses me off.
So he has, I don't remember if his name is Grabba or it's something that's
I think
not
the one
the
with the
same
Jiggy
name
is Grabba, and then the other ones have different names.
Yes, I made the mistake of correcting somebody on Facebook incorrectly. Like
That happens.
And they were like, and I just felt like such a dummy, and I was like, well, that's what I get for jumping in and should have just left it be. Anything left?
I usually skip that Jiggy if I don't feel like 100%ing it. Well, in that way, I will skip the Grabba.
I need to play a playthrough casually, like not 100%ing it.
I don't think I've ever done that. That'd be nice.
I've never done it. The only time
I do it all the time.
The only time I've never not 100%ed a Banjo game when I've played it is obviously Nuts and Bolts because I haven't played all the way through it. But Banjo Tooie as a kid I did beat, but didn't get like everything. And it was the first game that I had ever played that was like, once you beat the boss, it was like canon that the boss is now done, but you can still run around the, you know, because games like Zelda and stuff, when you beat the final boss, you like the credits roll and like that's it. You don't like, you know, still exist in a world where the boss is now gone.
Yeah, I hate when they make you like, okay, if you want to still play, you have to load to your last save point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can see that being good design for like certain games, but I will say that I really did like that Banjo didn't do that, and I would love to see like that expanded if they ever do make a 3E. Like you go around and talk to the characters, and they have like more to say about like the fact that Grunny's gone and stuff like that.
Yeah, they can fit in a nice amount of like post-game content in there.
Tears of the Kingdom did that really, really well. Well, I mean, Breath of the Wild did as well. They're kind of like the same formula when it comes to like the dialogue and how things can change as you progress.
Never beat Breath of the Wild.
I'm a total dork for Zelda, dude.
It's on the schedule for late August. I'm going to do my first completion of it for the show. So
it's a great one. Are you going to do like full on all the DLC and everything too? Like get the because there's like
right, I forgot there's DLC for that game.
Yeah, the DLC is kind of challenging too because you can like super duper upgrade the Master Sword if you go through like a long and pretty difficult, like there are different rooms and you defeat all the enemies in them.
Oh, Wind Waker has that kind of thing.
Savage Labyrinth.
Yeah,
yep.
So did Twilight Princess.
Well, Twilight Princess has it too, but
yeah, I like stuff like that.
In Breath of the Wild, it's a bit different because the combat is like a bit different. I personally didn't like doing it in Breath of the Wild, but I did enjoy. The Wind Waker had the best Savage Labyrinth, in my opinion.
I'd like to see a more incorporation of Gruntilda's sister, the fairy. What's her name?
Oh yeah. Broomtilda, right?
Yes.
Is it Bruntilda?
Bruntilla or something?
Bruntilda.
Either way, I would like to see like more incorporation of her in the future.
Because her only use here is just to get your trivia questions about Grunty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's
and
just
she
hiding.
doesn't make any appearances in 2E either.
No, but she has beautiful music.
I know there's a lot of references in Nuts and Bolts. Maybe she's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, and I do like her little music that
ding,
comes
ding.
up when
it's
you
like
approach
ballerina
her.
music.
Yeah,
I like how it's like super xylophony and light, but then also has a low ass saxophone in there.
it's kind of like the main menu music whenever Banjo's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, with the main menu, also I think it's cool that each save slot is something different going on in the house.
This game is made so lovingly, dude. It's so unique. It's so charming. And
Oh yeah.
it's just so crazy to me how all these other ones are getting all this treatment. Which I mean, I can understand why, like in their own rights, and it's not like they're comparing these games to Banjo when they decide to remake them. You know, it's like but it's like why won't they just do it?
Yeah, because there's so much effort in Banjo Kazooie. You might as well continue forth with it. There's so much going on, and
There's already a big ass fan base. Like
I would love to see a piece of dialogue in Banjo 3E where Banjo like brings up, well, what about that one time that we were like riding around in all those vehicles and stuff, and Kazooie says something like, I think the fans want to forget about that one, or something like that, or
I can see him doing that. Yeah.
I want 3E so bad, and I want it to. I already know that it's like, I don't know if I think I'm in like a never enough syndrome. Like I have in my head what I want.
He said
like,
the name of the podcast.
What did I?
Never Enough Gaming.
Oh, dang,
that's
dude.
amazing.
I'm sorry. I feel like I should have remembered that when you said it. My apologies.
No, sorry.
But that's a cool name too.
Hey, thank you.
Is it by chance after the Five Finger Death Punch song?
Whoa. No, but
I mean, I'm not the biggest Five Finger Death Punch fan, but I was.
Now you have a theme song. Is there anything else in Gobies that, I mean, there is...
I do like the flying in Gobi's Valley. You have to fly through the hoops. I actually quite enjoyed that.
Even the scary cactus man with the eyeballs.
With the honeycomb in the middle, yeah, he isn't that guy.
Oh yeah. Also, depending on what order you do it, this is usually where you get your last. The turbo trainers are the last move you can learn.
That's right. Yeah.
It can also be the beak bomb and freeze easy peak if you do Gobi's Valley first.
Getting the final move came so faster than I remembered it.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's the same in. I don't think there's a move in Cauldron Keep. In Tui. Let me get off Tui. I keep going to Tui.
We had the same issue with Darksiders. It's gonna happen, you know.
It's so hard to not talk about Tui. I love that game, dude.
Like we talked about Darksiders 2 a lot, even though I never played it. Oh, yeah.
What is so Mad Monster is next?
Yep,
Which we covered most of. There's only a couple more things to really say about here.
We did get a good few chunks out of that one.
I love the piano.
I was about to say that.
Yep. Motsand.
Yeah, because when you're pressing the keys, it like elongates that one note, and it's pretty. I really love that that level.
And also, I like the concept of being small in a huge place. I don't know. That always interested me.
Dude, that's so crazy that you mentioned that because I thought that was cool.
Yeah, there's a old platformer called Vex on the PS2.
Oh, hell yeah. That's like in my top 10 games, dude. I can't believe you just mentioned that game.
Dude, I 100%ed that game. That shit was so hard.
That game is one of the best platformers, and I cannot believe how overlooked it is.
Oh, we got to do an episode on it.
Dude, count me in, man, because that game is just like one of... Oh, my God. I can't believe you mentioned that game.
There's a whole level where you're in a big-ass house. I love that world.
Yes, dude, and that's one of my favorite ones. It's like something Manor. I can't remember.
Yeah,
that big ass crazy fucking
dog
running around.
Yeah,
and it like only has like 2 legs.
It's
God,
so
I love
good.
that game. I cannot believe you. And then there's the platforming segments inside the piano that it's like music themed. So I'm a nerd for
that. Was so cool.
Pretty much every day, I play an acoustic show in the area that I live in. It's like my day job. And
I know. I noticed on Facebook you're talking like most days you have shows.
Yep, and I've been in bands and all that stuff throughout my life. So music is always like a huge, huge part of like how I consume media and how I experience it. And that brings me to a point that I wanted to make about the church that you go into in Mad Monster Mansion. It has my personal favorite music in the game. Mm-hmm. Specifically when you're inside the church because you hear that super minor note.
Yeah.
Like you hear and it's not in, like the music is slowed down and it sounds like a bell being rang or something like that. But it's really dark and it's really pretty. I found that super interesting.
Yeah, the keys I love the keys, and I love how there is some characters in that level that you would think would be an enemy, like the guy sitting on the table, the ghost sitting on the table blocking the flying powder, the Jiggy or something. He's just a big ghost with, the 2 jowly teeth, and he's just like, hey, get away, bye.
Yeah.
I like how Grunty had a bedroom in there, and it was like alluding to Grunty living in that house.
Oh.
And
yeah.
It's just strange because when you fight Grunty, I'm wondering now about the proportions of characters. Because you see how big Grunty is compared to Tootie in the game over screen.
Yeah.
And you can see how big Grunty is compared to the landscape in Spiral Mountain when she's coming down to get Tootie in the opening cutscene.
Yeah.
But it's like the house, like that dining room is like
she's a
huge.
witch. She's a witch too. So she you should
change sizes. Yeah.
Well, if she was such a witch, why couldn't she just be young? Yeah, Klungo
that's
does
another
do
thing.
it.
How come she can't? That's a great observation there.
Yeah,
maybe
what the hell?
Maybe she's a shitty witch.
Yeah,
well, maybe
she
really
just
bad
sucks.
at it.
Maybe she's not I guess she doesn't have superpowers. She's a witch, so you do need elements to make spells, like for certain things. Which to get young, she needed youth. So I guess it does make sense because witches don't have superpowers. They have like supernatural element. I don't know how to explain it, but when you're making a potion, you need vampire teeth or this, that, and the other thing. So I guess she can't really do it on her own. Yeah.
And I'm sure most of those weird witchy ingredients exist in this universe.
I like that all of the items talk.
Yeah.
And I miss that they don't talk in Tui.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't all talk into it.
No, like when you first pick up a feather, obviously in Kazooie, it like talks to you for a second in flute.
Yeah.
It speaks in flute, and in Tui they don't do that at all. And they
That's
come
so
in
true.
nests too, which I thought was kind of cool because it was
Oh,
more
right,
about
yeah.
collecting them and.
Ooh, you know what I love? I love when you have to poop an egg into the flower pots. It goes, thank you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the whole I don't want to say controversy over that one, right? You guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't
No.
know about the
Like
controversy with that.
It sounds like they're saying "fuck you."
Oh, I did hear about
Yeah,
that.
and if
yeah.
you
I
tried
never
it-
thought that.
If you try to hear it that way, it can very, very easily be heard that way. It's one of those things.
Right, because you're
where it's
trying
like-
to hear it in that
Oh,
way.
But it
I
is-
literally hear an accent like "thank you."
It,
like,
Yeah.
it
I don't know
can
that.
because of the compression on the audio and like speech in that game on the N64. The TH sound is very similar to the F sound because it really just sounds like a crackle. It
Yeah.
just like a kind of distorted sound serves for the TH sound, for the F sound, for the CH sound. So it's almost like it's if you try to hear it that way, it's like fuck.
Aw, no,
It's just
not
so
with those
funny.
little eyes. No, they're
Right,
thanking
yeah.
you. They're so cute again.
I love your whimsical outlook on Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah.
Things
It's
with
invigorating.
faces. Things with faces. Adorable.
What do you think about the tombstones you have to murder?
Oh yeah,
They're fine.
their eye animations are crazy. They get all huge.
Yeah.
Like the eyes like bug
Yeah.
out for a second, and their little arms like flap.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You know what I just realized? The arm flapping animation that the tombstones do is pretty much the same one that your transformation in Mayhem Temple in Tui when you transform into the little statue guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
The way he flaps his arms, it's like the same exact thing that the tombstones do.
Cool.
You know, a lot
You're
of
right.
connections here. Oh, yeah.
I think about this shit, man. I don't know why.
Mayhem Temple's one of the, I love that world, and I know that I've read quite a few people that hate that world, and I don't know why.
I used
Just
to not
random
like it, but I
soccer
like it a lot now.
tournaments.
Yeah, random ass soccer tournament.
I like how the tiger dude like knew that you had transformed, and Kazooie like caught him on it.
Yeah.
Like she was like, "You're not trying to say that we're a bear and a bird like in an elaborate disguise to get in, are you?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's pretty obvious, but we need more players in here."
Get on in.
Are we done with Mad Monster Mansion?
We
Yeah,
can
it's a
be.
pretty
I think we
simple level.
I think
Yeah.
yeah.
talked about
We
it a
covered the church, that fucking hedge maze. We have to go through a lot.
lot. Mumbo's creepy ass like second dwelling area down in the past the gate in the graveyard.
Yeah, outside the world is that little gate and shack with there's like a mummy and Mumbo in there. There's an enemy in there. I can't remember what it is.
I can't remember. Oh, I think it's just a ghost.
Oh,
Or
you don't-
no. It's a skeleton guy.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Oh.
got the water switch for Grunny's lair towards Rusty
Yeah.
Bucket Bay.
And speaking of Rusty Bucket Bay, it even
Yeah.
sucks getting there.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I was trying not to look it up. It took me forever to figure out how to get there. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was
Well,
getting too angry. I ended up looking it up because I was
Yeah.
like, I don't remember and I don't feel like remembering.
I
want
didn't
to
realize
get
you
in.
have to go that far back towards the beginning of the lair.
I
Right.
didn't try till I was around 18 years old because I never did get to Mad Monster Man. You know, I played Kazooie a bunch until I was like 12. Then I got Tui, and then I pretty much only played Tui until I was
Right.
like 18. And then I went back and finished Kazooie for the first time. And
Rusty Bucket Bay. Oh my god.
I do like the music.
Yeah, music's great.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
And also, when you swim in the water here, it's oily, so you lose your air
Oh
twice
yeah,
as
the
fast.
double air bullshit.
Yeah.
Again with the faces, the freaking dolphin held down by the anchor and the
Poor
noise
dolphin,
he's
yeah.
making. He's like, ah! Oh, don't. Don't. I'm so sad about it.
That does make me sad.
If I go near him, I have to save him, but I try to avoid going anywhere near him because I don't do that whole level because it pisses me off.
I don't
So
blame
if I can avoid it, I will. But the second I hear that little guy, I'm like, well, now I have to save him.
I can totally understand that. Well, I do remember when I was like 6 playing Banjo Tooie. Like if I heard a Jinjo, I made it like a little rule that I had to like stop, find the Jinjo. And,
Help!
yeah.
Help!
How could you not?
Um.
So in the middle of this world is a big ass ship, which you have to like. There's a bunch of windows you can break to lead to different parts of the ship.
That's the one part I love.
I did love it, but I remember forgetting which windows went where a whole bunch.
Well, some of them are
that you can go down and they fucking bite you.
Dude,
yeah,
those
they go.
pipes always got me. They have because they have a
still
lot
get me
more
to this
reach than
They
I
have
think
a
they
lot
have.
of reach.
Yes, they can stretch.
But if you
Stretchy
look
boys.
at the windows, the ones you can't break are kind of dull, and then the ones that you can break kind of have a lighter gray to them.
Yeah, I think they kind of pop out a little bit. I think the
Yeah.
ones you can't break are more like flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they seem less pronounced. The ones you can break seem to have like a brighter
Yeah.
kind of pronunciation.
I kind of loved that. I loved going into each window. I love the little kitchen. I love the mini control room that they have, and then the bedrooms. I liked that.
It is
I
cool.
liked seeing the big world map type deal.
Oh yeah, I did remember looking at that for a minute.
I wonder if that. Oh my goodness! Thank goodness I just remembered what I want to bring up, but I'm going to bring that up here in a second. First of all, I wonder if the map shows ILO Hags from Tui. I don't know if it does. I feel like it probably wouldn't because
That'd be cool if there was something on there.
Right, that
related.
connects. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Nuts and Bolts, when you you haven't completed Conker's Bad Fur Day, right?
No.
Dominique, have you?
No.
Okay, then this wouldn't make any sense. Long story short, there's an area in Conker's Bad Fur Day where you go out across the ocean and you go to like a military war zone, and the chapter is called It's War, and you literally leave like the main land and you go out to like this big fortress out in the ocean. And I think that you can see that very same fortress from Conker's Bad Fur Day from Showdown Town when you go to like a really, really high spot. You can see that there's like an ocean, and out in the ocean right there sits what looks like the fortress that you go to in Conker's Bad Fur Day. And I have
That would be amazing.
And I cannot find any confirmation on this, and I'm having a hard time finding other people that have seen it.
I want to look.
I'm going to make another post after we get off here in the Rareware.
See if
page
somebody's
on
noticed
Facebook.
that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
I kind of want to.
I'm going to have to grab a screen grab or something, or I don't.
Yeah, because if you look, the problem is if you look at anything some bolts, it's about how people hate it.
Yeah, nobody cares to go and check.
You gotta make, yeah, you kind of got to do your own research on that
I have
game.
heard a lot of people defending it, and I do need to finish it because I must experience what the Spiral Mountain is
The ending,
like.
yeah.
I want to walk around Spiral Mountain on foot, and you can like go all the way up to the top of Grunny's Tower in that one too.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
okay,
like you can fly all the way up there and stuff, and it's like I totally got to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do. I was gonna say something, but I was gonna say something else about nuts and bolts, but I can't remember now.
I'm sorry.
Damn it!
I feel like I cut people off and make them forget what they're trying to. Talk
No,
about.
no, you say interesting stuff. It's all right.
I do my best. Are we? We're still.
All right.
We're on Rusty Bucket.
Yeah.
Dude,
There's
fuck
the
this level.
there's the boss boombox.
Oh yeah, one
Which
of the
is-
only bosses, and
Yeah, a big ass TNT box that breaks breaks into other boxes, but it's not that difficult.
No, and you can use a gold feather on that, stand in the middle, and it destroys them instantly.
I didn't
I
think
did
to
not
do
know
that.
that.
I did not
Really?
think to
Oh my
do
god,
that.
yeah. So if you have
You
enough
just
gold
taught me
feathers,
something.
yeah, if you stand in the middle, while
That'd
it's
be
coming
good for
at
speed
you,
runs.
yeah, if you're standing in the middle and you have enough gold feathers, if you just like hold your gold feathers on, it will destroy all of them and quickly.
I remember the first time I experienced him, I used eggs and ran out.
I did too. Yeah.
And then every subsequent one, I found it the most fun to do like the rat-a-tat tap.
Yeah.
Because it's just fun to hurry up, jump, and press B. Like
Yep.
it just felt right as a pattern.
Yeah. I usually resort to that move on anything. It's just, and I like the noise. The noise is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, the shark is in this
yeah.
level too.
Oh yeah,
in
Nipper's
the
here.
corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
It used to freak me out so bad as a
Yeah, because
kid.
it's like dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun
Do
dun
the
dun.
Jaws theme.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that you can like hurt him?
What? Gold
No?
feathers?
Yeah, you can like shit eggs out onto him and it
Oh.
hurts him, and he like dies.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if he dies permanently, but I do know that you can like kind of kill him, and then I think he respawns after a couple minutes. But I didn't know this either. But you can, you can like finish him off in Treasure Trove Cove.
I don't know why I never even thought to do that.
It's a thing. And it's one of them things where it's like you would think that that's the first thing that you try.
No,
you know?
yeah,
But
right.
I guess we all just collectively were like, okay, shark can't fucking fight that. So
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
just assume.
god! Now
Yeah.
I must try.
Yeah, after
dude.
dealing with them, after getting that under the dock, Jinjo, I was like, I'm never want to fuck with the shark again.
Oh,
Like,
Intense
seriously.
moment, dude. Super
Yeah.
tense moment.
Ugh.
I think we're done with this.
Yes, please.
Now let's get to the final and good world, Click Clack Wood.
Okay.
Oh, what a
I
beautiful.
love Click Clack Wood. It more
I love
reminds
and
me of a
hate it.
Tui world.
I love and hate it. It's tough for me because
It's
I've
tedious.
fallen off the tree too many times.
Yeah,
the
it's
music,
tree.
though, I do love it. This is a bit of crude humor, but me and my buddies, our humor is just very, very stupid and crude, and I would sing along to the music, and I would just keep talking about having a seizure. which doesn't make any sense, but I would be like, everybody have a seizure, just have a fucking seizure like me. Everybody's having a seizure.
I do
everybody-
that too. My
and it's just so dumb, you know. And
Well,
I do the
Banjo's a good
same
game to
thing.
sing along weird lyrics to because it's good instrumentals.
and
Well,
I can't not sing that now. When I think Click Clock Wood, I just think seizure, like singing about a seizure. It's just so stupid.
Mario 64 has a pretty decent soundtrack in some ways too, and
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, because the first couple levels has like a tune that goes dun 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 dun
Yes.
dun dun. Well, me and my mom, for some reason, we go channel 5, channel 5,
Okay.
channel 5. So I am right there with you.
That's amazing. Okay, I have a forgive my potty mouth, but the winter worlds where it's like dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, me and this drummer that I used to work with, we would go dun dun to suck my nuts, dun dun to suck my nuts.
Now I'm gonna think that from now on.
Right? Yep.
Yeah, that was like
Channel
the
5.
universal one that we would use for Super Mario 64. Is we would use the phrase "suck my nuts." And
I'm so glad other
all the music.
people make lyrics to video games scores.
How-
Like,
Yeah, dude, you
it's
guys
so
are
funny.
badass. If I don't have you guys on Facebook or anything, guys, please add me. Let's be
Oh
friends.
no, for sure.
I know you got me. Well, I don't know if we're friends or if we just message. About to check.
I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but
I'll have to
let's
give the old
rectify that.
ads.
Yeah,
for
I like
sure.
this little group we have here. I'd love to do more episodes with you guys.
Yeah, thank
dude,
you.
I'm
Me
down.
too.
Yeah, this
I
is
love doing
fun.
Podcasts and stuff like that. And
Well, we're at 2 hours here, and we just
dude,
been
you should
going.
get Jiggy Look Back.
Oh, and there's
You
only
should-
like
You
Huh?
should totally get Jiggy Look Back for the Tui episode.
I'll see what I can do. I'd love to do something like that.
Have you guys
Yeah.
seen him on YouTube before?
No, I have to
No, I'm
check
gonna
them
have
out.
to watch.
Oh,
'cause
dude,
I'm
he's
on
like,
I live on YouTube.
and
Me
he's
too.
getting numbers too right now. He's like keeping it. He's keeping the banjo shit alive on YouTube right now.
My current
I'm-
fixation is watching the Tetris competitions.
I'm that.
what?
Wait,
the-
what?
There's like I'm really big into Dance Dance Revolution, so I used to watch the competitions for that. And I'm not a Guitar Hero person. I'm a Dance Dance Revolution girl. But
There you go.
I saw a clip on TikTok of one of the competitions from I think 2 years ago, and it's like two people doing. It's like the official like competition for like the best Tetris in the world. And so they do competitions, and they are so intense and fun to watch. And it's all ages, it's all countries. Like there was like a young teen on there versus somebody in their 30s. Like, it's
I love
all
seeing
age
shit
ranges.
like that where like people
Yeah.
come together and like everybody's like
And
being cool
people
stuff.
are. There's commentators, there's like announcers like sitting at a table, and behind them is a whole crowd of people cheering on like their favorite person, whoever they're
I
cheering
live for that shit. That's
yeah,
so
it's
awesome.
so good. Definitely watch it because
And plus, I love Tetris, so it'd be cool to see actual expert players playing it.
yes,
Dude,
and it's
Tetris made me
expert.
so good at being a FedEx driver a few years back because we had to like load our vehicles.
Yeah.
Like, and you'd never know, like you would just get there in the morning and all of your route would be piled there, and it's just boxes of different shapes and sizes, and you had to like put it in the back
Yep,
yourself.
that's me at my jobs. That's definitely me at my jobs as well. I have
Another
two
thing
jobs
too, dude.
where it affects
Tetris.
it.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
so
keep
bad at
going.
interrupting.
No, keep going, dude.
Tetris has amazing music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tetris 64 has, and like the elements of the different countries.
I never played that one.
Oh,
I didn't even know there was a Tetris 64. That sounds specific.
I'll put it on the schedule.
I don't think it's called Tetris 64, but it's on the 64, and they have like elements of different countries that you have to go into and beat, and then like
Oh, that's cool.
it completes like the country. I haven't played it in so long, so I can't fully remember details, but I just know that there's countries involved, like Morocco and blah blah blah, and the worlds you're in, that you're like building up those worlds.
That sounds really cool.
Did you
It's
see
really
the
nifty.
Did you see the location maps in Mario Kart 8?
Mm-mm.
Like the Bangkok Rush, Tokyo, whatever. Like they Athens Dash or whatever the hell. Like they did. The DLC, the Booster Course Pass stuff that they did, where they came out with all those other maps. Every round of maps that they came out with, there was always one that was themed to like a popular city in the world.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was pretty cool.
So Click Clock Wood, huh?
Oh,
Click Clock Wood.
I don't know.
Man, so I really just love, honestly, the aesthetics, like the fact that it's the same world 4 times in a completely different time of year.
Yeah,
I think
things
that
you
is
do
so neat.
in
That's
certain seasons
gorgeous.
change what happens in other seasons. It's just a really cool concept.
Yeah, just even like the leaves going up the tree, they're real small in the springtime, and then you can climb them in the summertime. And
Did you guys ever try to climb them anyway in the springtime?
Yeah, I've tried, and then
It's
I'm like,
fucking hard as shit.
hell no.
Can you do it? Oh, when they're
Yeah.
like really,
can, but
really
it's-
small.
Yeah, but it's
Oh.
super hard. You got to be really precise.
Yeah, it's hard. No. Even when
I
they're
honestly-
full size, I can't stand it.
Exactly.
I know you didn't like climbing the tree regularly, right? Like you didn't like that part.
Me
Corey?
or Dominique? I didn't because I don't like. There's a specific part where the camera does not handle well, where you get like the wooden boardwalk in the house.
Oh,
and all that
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
That part can be rough. I like climbing that tree, but
I
you know.
do like it because it's like pure platforming, and it feels a
Yeah.
lot like the section in Pterodactyl Land where you're like ascending the mountain and like
Yeah.
going through the little tiny T-Rex doors and stuff.
I love being the bee and just sending it as high as possible.
Hell yeah!
But it really
Just
is a
go.
bummer when you fall, though.
I like
It is.
the how the eagle farts out your
Right.
jiggy, and like you
Yeah.
actually hear the fart sound.
The fact that you raise an eagle is so funny.
Yeah,
I
he
thought
ra-
that was so cute, honestly.
You
Yeah,
become a
you're
father to
telling
an
me?
eagle.
You're telling me I'm also a bird girl, so you know.
Did you guys ever? This is a long shot here, but did you guys ever have the CD-ROM that was the Quest for Camelot CD-ROM for the computer, and you could raise the fucking dragon?
No.
What? No.
Yeah, you're aware of
Huh.
the movie, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was a
And the Game Boy
game.
Color game.
I didn't know there was a Game Boy Color game.
Yeah,
But
it's a Zelda RPG.
what?
Yeah.
I'm not
So weird.
surprised. That would be like the perfect brand to try to like form into that like gameplay style.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a CD-ROM that you can get. It comes with like 8 games or some shit like that in it, and it's all Quest for Camelot stuff. And one of them is Raising a Dragon, and it starts as a baby, and then it turns into a young kid, and then it finally a teenager. And as a teenager, it has like an electric guitar and like all this other shit.
So it's
The
like
little
8 little
worms.
mini games about it.
Yeah, well,
I had a.
it probably feels smaller in scope now. I haven't played it in a long time.
I love the little inchworms you have to get. and you can hear them from a distance. So you're like, oh, there's one nearby.
They sound like rubber being cleaned.
Yeah.
I like how
and then
you
when
could
when
only
you grab
transform
'em.
in certain versions of the certain seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
Mumbo
then
had his vacation.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in vacation. He's not even there for one of them.
It's so good. Where the fuck is he?
You're like, who do you think you are? We're almost at the end of the game. You don't need a vacation now.
He's at Witchy World.
Dude, I love that level.
Ah, I fucking love it too.
That level is so amazing.
Me too. I really love the amusement park theme. I love jumping off of the diving board into the tiny pool.
So much of that level was just so much fun. It was so satisfying and engaging.
The space game.
Hell
Yeah. Where you're, where you're on the UFO shooting.
I like
thing.
how they the voices of the enemies, they made them sound like teenagers, like working. They're like
Yeah,
and
I
then,
was thinking Click Clock Wood.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you hit them and they're like, ugh. And it just it sounds like
Yes.
they're like teenagers working at a theme park. Is at least the impression that I got.
And the
I hate the
gross burger
tent.
guy. Ugh.
Oh, dude, yeah, fuck Mr. Patch. I'm sorry. I hear so many people singing Mr. Patch's praises, but I do not like that boss fight. It's fucking hard.
No, it's
I'm
so
very-
hard.
I'm so
Lord Wu-Fak Fak
mixed
is
on
shitty
it.
too.
I have more problems with Lord Wu Fak Fak than I do Mr. Patch for sure.
I straight up didn't realize that you could fight Lord Wu Fak Fak as the sub. I've
I
always
did-
done it as Banjo and Kazooie, but you can
Me
totally
too.
do it as the sub, and it's apparently way easier.
I
still
heard
haven't
about
done
that after I
Oh.
beat it, and I was like, wow, I
Fucking
never
nuts.
thought to
I've
do
been
that.
playing that game for 20 some years and never knew.
Yeah, when I do my
I
playthrough
need
for
to-
the
I need
show,
to
I'm
play
definitely
that.
doing that.
Yeah, I need to play that again so bad as an adult because it's not on the Switch, which makes me so sad because I would have
Oh,
been
it
jumping
isn't?
on that already. No, I don't
Damn.
think so. If it is, then it's recent because I have the pack that has all the old
Yeah.
games on it.
Do you have a decent PC at all?
No, I have
So you
a
can emulate it, but
no.
Gobi shows up a second time,
right, he got the
Yes.
water. What is it?
and so
Water.
do those whip crack things that you see inside a clanker.
He's not
right on
happy
the
to
top of
see
the
you at
tree.
all. He's like, oh
yeah.
you found me.
Poor Gobi.
No.
And then you beat him again.
Oh,
yeah,
also
for real. The flower.
The bull makes
Oh,
its
yeah.
second appearance.
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh yeah, I
Click
forgot he
Clock
was
Wood.
in Mumbo's Mountain. You're right.
Yes. And he has the whole piercing and all.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's that beaver that's under the water in the springtime, and then you
Oh,
can,
yeah, that guy.
in the summertime you bust the boulder, and then you
Yeah.
can go up there after you bust it.
I like how
Yeah.
the outfits of the enemies change
Oh, I didn't realize that.
with
I
the
didn't even notice
seasons.
that.
Yeah, and one I think they're shirtless in summer,
Mm.
and they have what looks like a Robin Hood style outfit on.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah!
Yeah.
What
Even-
the heck?
I noticed that, but I didn't think about it.
Fuck the Venus
cool.
flytraps, though.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
yes. Good assessment.
Because they usually are holding something valuable in them.
Yeah, I always just put on a golden feather and waste
Yeah.
4 of them trying to get up there.
There's the
Yup.
beehive, which has gotten easier with age. The
Yeah,
fight
the
that you do
beehive.
inside.
Again, gold feathers.
Yeah. With the beehive ones, you can time it where you can just kind of stand there and jump and attack.
That's pretty much what I've condensed it down to. Is that
I gold feather. I get enough gold feathers, and I just stand it because they come at you the whole time. So if you're just standing there with gold feathers, every time they hit you, they just bounce off of you, and it's done.
Yeah, I had to do it 4 times in the Grunty's Furnace Fun because I failed once. Actually, I died twice during that
Grunty's
thing.
Furnace Fun is surprisingly difficult, dude. I die all the time doing
Well,
that
Have you?
Let-
have you
let's
seen
talk
the
about it.
little cheats?
Do
What's
what?
that?
Like, there's little ways in that game, like glitches, where you can
Skip. I did see an article
I didn't know
had
that.
talked about a
Yeah.
newly discovered glitch.
It's
that-
something that you do something, and then
It just disables all the fucking.
yeah, it disables
Oh.
all the buttons, and you could just walk across the whole entire. If it's a certain path you have to take, and then it disables. You do something, and it disables it.
I thought it was something about like jumping over a specific.
Yeah, no, you're
parameter.
right. Yeah,
and for speedruns and shit. Fuck
yeah, it disables it, and you could just walk to the other side.
I like doing it though.
No,
even
of
having
course.
to do it.
I do
a few
like
times.
it, but it's hard as fucking. It makes me mad.
I did forget to write down
on the first try.
Oh, me either.
Yeah,
I
dude,
did
because
forget
who
to write
wants
down the fairy stuff this
Who
time.
wants to do that? Because then, every time you encounter her, you'll have to talk to her until you get all of her dialogues. That's like 10 minutes with each encounter.
I kind of just did trial and error, and it was like I just kind of guessed, and that's why I died like 3 times. But I ended up getting lucky.
That's pretty much what I do. I just brute force it, not knowing them, and on one of them I get lucky.
I really like it though. Does Tui do something like that at the end, or
Tui, in my opinion, has an improved thing like that. Right before the final boss, you get what's called Grunny's Tower of Tragedy quiz, which is it's a game show similar, but there's no lava, and it's just similar like factoids from the game, except Banjo and Kazooie aren't the only contestants.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's right.
Grunty's two other sisters.
Huh.
That who can and die, which is crazy because when you win, they get like a like 2 ton or 10 ton fucking weights dropped on them if they lose.
Yep, that is so correct.
Which sucks because they even
that.
kill the cat because the fat one has a cat that she holds.
Grunty's a cold bitch. Damn,
She is, man.
Holy shit.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find Tower of Tragedy to be a lot more fun.
That is fun. I completely forgot about that, and man, I want to play.
Well, let's play through it and let's talk about that son of a bitch.
I'm
Yeah,
down.
I remember a lot of stuff, but I forgot that they do a game show at the end, and that was the style of it. Now I remember it all. Now it's like right back to me.
I had Tui on an Xbox, but I actually just fucking split up with somebody that I was with for 7 whole years, and she kept the Xbox. So now I gotta,
not the Xbox.
Not the Xbox. Not my
Anything
perfect
but the
Banjo Tooie
Xbox.
file. I actually so Xbox 360. There's an achievement for doing a boss rush mode under a certain set of time, and it is hard.
Hard.
Yes, it's like harder than the second Canary Mary race. It's like the hardest Banjo anything I've ever encountered. Is this little?
Oh, I forgot about Canary Mary. How dare
It's
you?
a little boss rush achievement that you can get on Xbox 360, and it took me forever. And
Well, I
now
love
don't
a good
have it
boss
anymore.
rush, so.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
Skyward Swords, you have to complete it to get the Hylian shield, which is like the cannon shield.
Yeah. Huh. I really need to get Skyward Sword on Switch.
Dude. It had my favorite story out of all the Zeldas.
I just heard.
Majora's Mask.
I just heard that it holds your hand through a lot of the beginning.
It kind of does, but the gameplay is satisfying.
Well,
enough.
Twilight Princess does the same thing. So.
Twilight Princess takes way longer to get going, which
So,
sucks.
yeah.
At least Skyward Sword kind of puts you in it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it does a lot with its relationships with the characters. Like, it really makes you feel for them.
Really need to play more Zelda. I'm kind of happy that I'm starting off with Majora's Mask for the show. It's such a cool experience.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing we haven't talked about in Quick Clock Wood is Nab Nuts. Nab Nuts,
doesn't he
the
like
squirrel.
burp and fart in his sleep?
I think so, yeah. You have to collect 8 little acorns for him that are scattered around, and the hitboxes on these things were fucking awful. I remember, like, walking through them a whole bunch. I don't know if you guys had the same problem.
I don't recall, but I do recall
I just don't know how to walk.
him needing an absurd amount.
I
And,
think it's
I
like
had
10.
to,
Yeah.
8
Wasn't
or
there,
10.
like,
or
I think you had to do it twice. Like, I think
Yes.
you had to do it in one season and then a bunch more in the next season, and it was just...
I think so too.
And I think that's why I didn't like climbing the tree, because it was doing it multiple times throughout different seasons to get different things. And it's like...
Yeah.
And then in the winter, you got the damn snowman.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
that's
yeah, I
right,
forgot the snowmen come back.
Yeah, they come back.
You keep
just hear 'em in
dropping
the
these
distance.
bombshells.
They just like you just hear in the distance.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, come on.
Fuck.
It's
Those are
coming for
probably
me.
my least favorite enemies in the game. Well, actually, I like the way they look, and I like their sounds, but it's
My least favorite's probably the slug things in Clanker's Cavern. And,
They come out of the sewers and bite you.
Yeah, and they appear again in Rusty Bucket Bay a couple times, too.
They sure do. Yeah, when you're in the engine room, they appear.
Yes.
Yep, they're in Mad Monster Mansion too.
I think they look more fucked up they look more zombie-ish in Mad Monster Mansion, too.
They're smaller.
And they have, like...
Like they come out of the paintings in that one.
And you can see their bones and stuff.
Yes, yep, you're right.
They're really cool. There's actually a surprising amount of, like, gore in this game.
Grony doesn't deserve that badass bedroom suite that she has.
Nope.
No.
She's got like a fucking sick bed. Nice bedroom.
Going back to Mad Monster Mansion, when you're the pumpkin, you have to go down the toilet, and she is revolted by that. She's like, "Ew, you sick fuck!"
I forgot you have to flush yourself to a talking toilet. So
love that.
That toilet's alive.
Logo.
Yeah.
And like people use it.
Well, I know that he appears in Tui.
Oh, he does?
And Grunny Industries, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Yep, and there is a, like a 1 in however many, whatever chance. It's very rare. But if you go down into the area where he is, in Tui, because there's like a workers' quarters, and part of the workers' quarters has like a room to it. Well, there is a door to this room where Logo's in. And there's like a 1 in whatever chance that if you go down into the quarters, the door to the bathroom will be shut, and you can hear one of the bunnies that you have to save shitting into Logo.
What?
And it's just like a whole bunch of fart noises. Yeah, I'm not making this up, I promise.
I wonder if he loves it, though.
It's like super duper rare to get. Like you have to walk in and walk out like for fucking ever to get it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the time to do it.
I have yet to do it, but it's a quick YouTube search away. And
true.
But yeah, and they even say like stuff that's, you know, like I think he says, "My finger's gone through the toilet paper," and
what?
Just
Wow.
other. I know.
What a touch!
That's crazy.
That's so cool. Damn. Good job, Rare.
Straight up talks about touching his butthole. This game's for kids.
That's kid humor, though.
It
True,
is. I was
true.
saying stuff like that when I was a kid.
Right?
For sure.
I still say dumb shit like
I was
that.
going to say, dude, I say some dumb shit at 30 years old.
Especially with, like, 16-year-old kid,
Oh, yeah.
15-year-old, and an 18-year-old right in the house.
My
like,
one
the
buddy's
stuff
dad
that comes out of my mouth.
Yeah. I'll probably never stop saying fucking stupid shit. That's just how my humor is. It's
yeah.
absurdist humor. Have you guys ever watched the show Tim and Eric? Awesome show, great job.
Oh yeah, yep.
That's actually my favorite show.
Yeah, it's good to have that kind of humor. Keeps you going,
I think so.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You don't want to be like a bitter, unfunny, boring person. Yeah.
Where are we? Are we finished?
Well,
or?
yeah, we're
like-
gonna put Clockwood.
Yeah.
We a little bit with the furnace fun. I do like the variety of shit you got to do in it. Like I love I love trivia things in general. Like I'm playing Paper Mario and I just did all 64 questions of the optional thing and I loved it.
I do find it very unique. I mean, what other game has you face the fucking boss in a quiz show before the actual final boss? It's just another one of those unique
I
things.
love the area after the game show. That part felt so like, wow, we're in the end. This is part of the layer that we haven't seen yet, and like
that you saw in the cutscenes. It's like
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be there. That's that liminal space shit that you keep seeing.
I love
Yeah,
the book.
walking through that
Oh, dude,
area.
did you guys notice in a Furnace Fun when you beat it and then you turn around and use first person viewing, you're in an arena surrounded by some of the monsters from the game.
No.
What?
Yes. Yeah, when you like are standing next to like the prizes that you can win, press C up and then look at like the fucking
Oh my god.
and
Too
then
many
look at the
bombs
walls.
being dropped today.
I know. I need to.
I realized this only on my last playthrough, and it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary looking too. I mean, it's a repeating texture, but the way that they're looking at you is kind of like fucked. It's like, you know how like in Fantasia, that Disney film, you sometimes see like
I love Disney,
striking
so yeah.
facial imagery.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what they look like. It's some fucking
That's
weird shit
amazing. I'm at the end of the game pretty much in Kazooie right now, and I
look for
am gonna look for it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
it's pretty
cool.
weird. I remember when I first saw it, I was a little alarmed by how they looked. I was like, that's kind of fucking creepy, man.
All right, we just have to talk about the ending boss fight and the final cutscene.
Which is such a difficult thing.
Oh,
is hard,
also,
dude.
one weird thing the game does is after you beat the trivia, you go to the credits, and then it
Yeah.
takes you to the main menu, and you're like, oh,
It's
okay.
almost like Animal Crossing. Like, you think you like, oh, well, Animal Crossing, I don't know about the other ones, but the one for the Switch, New Horizons or whatever.
Only
it's
one
like,
I haven't played.
Yeah, well, it's like you meet KK, the dog that sings songs, and when you
Yeah.
meet him, it's in like the middle of the game. You haven't really completed your island. You meet him, he plays you music, and he runs credits every time he sings. So you think, oh shoot, did I beat the
What?
game? But really, you like didn't. It just does it.
They just had to put the credits somewhere. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's so weird. But, like, if you didn't think of or know, like, if it was your first playthrough, especially if you're, like, younger, I don't think I feel like some people would think they beat the game, actually, right?
Yeah.
I bet that did happen. I bet a lot of people didn't even realize. Well, wait a minute. The cutscene itself at the end lets you know that. Remember, because they're having like that cookout,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
Tootie comes running out, and she's like, oh, and then
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what she said.
yeah.
But yeah, you have to go back to that area, which you have to go back through the whole Granny's lair, and I think the Granny picture you have to fill out is like 20 jiggies or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And I think you, out of all together, in order to just beat the game, you need 94 out of 100, I think.
I'm going to say something real weird. So, hear me out. The final portrait of Grunny. She doesn't look all that bad. That's like the prettiest Grunty appears in all of the...
Well,
Here-
now
ju-
I need to look at it.
Just next time you see that portrait, when you finish it, look at her hair and her eyes and her pose, and it's like, dang, girl, maybe you're not so bad.
Not bad. Okay, I'm gonna look this up, or if I can't
There's
find
something about that final portrait. It's like, oh, maybe if you weren't such a fucking asshole.
it. Too bad she doesn't have a nice personality.
Yeah, man. You know what they say.
What do this?
What do they say?
I don't know what they say. That's why I said you know what they say.
I might know. I might
Just
know.
fucking with you guys.
That's so funny.
So after that, it's also you get like 3 note doors here with like one that fills your feathers, your eggs,
Yep.
and
They give you double.
what's the other one do?
Gives you double health.
Mm-hmm.
One gives you double feathers. One gives you double eggs. The other gives you double health.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Damn.
And they're on little like pillows. They're like floating on little purple pillows with yellow
Yeah.
tassels.
They look nice.
They do.
in
It's
there.
like
Yeah.
look at this massive feather.
It's like godly. Like, yes.
The music also was like really interesting. It made you really think like, oh shit, like you're getting close to the top. It's
yeah.
like, hey.
All right. Damn. 2.5 hours.
That's a good
All right.
one.
Let's talk about this boss, this hard boss.
Ginginator.
At least it is for me. Is it hard for you guys?
Yeah.
I find it difficult, yes.
Yeah, when she
It
shoots
took me
her
like
stuff
3
down.
tries.
Yeah,
Oh,
when she
God.
shoots the stuff down at you, it's just so defeating.
Yeah.
I could sort of dodge him, but I never fully figured it out.
It's surprisingly fast, man, and a lot of people like, you know, like I didn't realize that the one attack that she does is you're supposed to do the
Yeah, the golden
invulnerability
feather.
thing.
It
Yeah.
took me a minute. It took me a couple deaths
Wonder
to figure
Woman.
out that I needed to do that.
I'm wondering if I ever figured that out, because I don't think. Wow.
Because I was just taking the damage for the first couple
Same.
tries.
Yeah.
Not realizing that it does
Yeah.
truly home all the way in on you. I remember I was like thinking
trying
that
to
maybe
escape
you
it.
could, yeah, maybe you could somehow jump away from it. I was just bad at it. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Me too.
I actually had an issue with falling off the tower
I did once. I did die that way
Yep.
once.
Because I kept jumping up on the things to shoot her,
Me too. Yep,
and
I
I
died
would get
that way.
hit, and it would knock me backwards.
Yep. There's so many ways to die here.
There was a couple things I was going to mention with this. Did
Let's
you
see.
guys
There's
did you
one
guys know about the when you beat her, how she fires a spell at you, and it misses you? Did you know that was supposed to turn Banjo into a frog, and then Tootie has to go back, and this was an actual idea that they considered.
Oh.
I've seen it in a bunch of
Oh.
different interviews. Yeah, they had considered a second playthrough style where that final spell that ultimately misses him hits him, and he turns into a frog or some other creature, and then Tootie has to go back through all the worlds, almost like how they had that second
It's
harder
like
version
Resident Evil
of,
shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
reverse saving here.
That's
All right,
kinda-
tag you in. I got you. Now you got me.
That would have been pretty cool. I mean,
I can't imagine playing as Tootie.
Right, I
would,
wonder
I would
what
think
her-
it would be a much shorter adventure.
I wonder what her mechanics would be.
Yeah,
Being annoying.
smacking people with her little flute.
Her voice. I'm
Yeah.
I'm.
Dominique, you could totally voice some Rareware characters.
Yeah, I've heard you.
I really used to want to be a voice actor so
You could, yeah, you've
bad.
nailed some shit.
You've
the
had
other
some
day.
spot-on impressions.
I love voice acting or doing impressions. I can do a handful of cartoon characters, and it's one of my favorite things. I do a pretty mean. Have you watched Fairly Odd Parents?
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh yeah. I just did a watch through the whole series a year
Tootie?
ago.
I can do a mean Tootie impression. People make me do it in public, but it's the loudest impression, so I can't do it in a Walmart or anything like
Sure
that.
you can.
That because I do a Rolf impression from Ed and Eddie that is fucking loud as shit.
I do a pretty good Dora, but I can only say "Hola, soy Dora" and that other words I'm not as good at. I do a pretty good Blue. I used to do other good ones, but I haven't practiced them as much. But Tootie is my number one.
That was
And
pretty good. Yeah.
I love Tootie from Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh,
Vicky's little
right.
sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's my best one that people make me do all the time. But thank you for recognizing that, because it's actually something I wanted to do for a very long time. But
I mean, it's never too late.
no, voices
say, you
are
can just-
forever.
You obviously have a microphone.
Someone's got to take some jobs from Tara Strong.
Seriously, she is the voice of a million.
Yeah.
I do love voicing a lot of the banjo noises and characters, though.
It's hard to not get caught up in the. It's just so believable,
Yeah.
and it just takes you into that world, hearing that chopped up sampling, vocal sampling.
I love it so much. It's definitely one of those favorite things that I randomly do on the side. Out of my millions of random things I do in my life, voices was a huge one for a long time.
I mean,
I would think that you could totally be a voice actor. I mean,
Yeah.
some of that
Thank
stuff was
you.
it was very entertaining too.
how there's more
Thanks.
animated stuff being put out now than ever. I think, right?
Have you guys ever played the game The Darkness?
Yep.
No,
Good
I
game.
haven't.
The guy that voices the
Jackie?
darkness itself.
Oh.
No, the actual monster
Right.
guys. That's Mike Patton, the fucking singer of Faith No More.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
That's
a
the
good person to get for that, because
that's
that
the type
voice
of stuff
is
that I want to do. Is I've always wanted to voice act too, but I want to do weird shit. I want to
Right.
do really, really weird shit.
a voice some weird fucked up thing on Smiling Friends or whatever.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be great. I need to actually. I've only seen a couple bits of some episodes of that, but I need to watch that shit because that's
It's-
right up my alley.
It's a really good show if
Have
you
you
like
ever
that
heard
kind
of,
of humor.
Have you ever heard of I Think You Should Leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's,
show's so
I've
fucking
seen
crazy.
every episode.
Yeah.
I know my wife will walk.
that door!
My wife will be watching, walk in while I'm watching it. And what the fuck are you watching?
The fucking ghost tour shit. The fucking ghost tour scan is so stupid. Oh god. Okay, what's
Also, if you like stupid humor, I recommend you listen to Comedy Bang Bang. It's pretty hit or miss, but
I will give that a try. I've heard of it.
there's a lot of comedians and voice actors and people on there.
Yeah, dude, the dumber and more abstract and just complete nonsense, like no explanation, like what the fuck even is this? Like that's the type of stuff that I like watching. I'll smoke
So,
a
like,
bunch and fucking watch that shit, and it's just
Adult
weird.
Swim.
Yeah, oh yeah, yes,
Yeah. Hell
Like
yeah.
Xavier Renegade Angel. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but that's another one that's just fucking insane, dude.
There are some Cartoon Network shows that are good for that too, like
Bro, Space
Chowder.
Ghost Coast to Coast is
Oh,
like
Chowder.
the OG fucking
Oh, yeah,
like
definitely.
stoner cartoon.
Waking up in the middle of the night, seeing that shit, or seeing Squidbillies.
Oh my god, Squidbillies.
That show. God damn. All right.
We're getting close to the 3-hour mark.
I know. Okay, so with this boss, do you guys have trouble when she's flying around and you have to fly up and hit her?
I'm surprisingly, I actually do best there.
Really?
I hate it all.
I struggle the most with when you're trying to fire the eggs into the ginginators.
Me too. That's
Holes.
probably my hardest part because I fucking get
She
stressed
fires
out.
them fucking
I'm like,
things so much, and you can't get like a moment
Yeah.
to stop and fire the egg.
I beat the boss with like 1 health left. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'll lose even when I've got the double health. I shit you not.
I didn't
Like-
do it with a double health. I didn't realize that.
I just go too fast. I try to brute force everything, and I don't slow down enough to, and it's just because I've played it so many times. And
It's definitely important to get the honeycombs the whole entire game because it helps you in the
Oh
end.
yeah.
oh yeah,
It's not really a boss. You can base tank and just yeah.
I always try to hit her in the face when you're in the air.
It feels like that's the right thing to do.
Right.
So that's oh yeah. So eventually you have to summon the Ginginator by shooting eggs into a statue. Yeah.
I like how she's afraid of it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My question is, where did it come from? Like, if
no
that's her
idea.
lair, then why is that in there?
It's like, yeah, I don't know.
And it's like, did the Jinjos once freed like build that and implant it towards the top of the tower or something?
It's like a defense mechanism.
Yeah,
Also,
and is it a robot or is it a living creature?
I don't know.
If Gruntilda, like, if that's her lair, then why is Mumbo there making everything better for Banjo?
That is a great point.
Like,
Maybe he's
the
a
one
double
making
agent.
it possible. Or
Yeah,
maybe he
'cause
just doesn't
did
care.
Flip. He
Yeah.
did flip
Oh, yeah, he
when
did.
Grunny got pretty.
Or maybe he
Yeah.
just doesn't care because, like, Banjo feeds him Mumbo tokens. He's like, sure, yeah. He's a mercenary.
Yeah, he's like a total rogue shaman man.
Yeah, I think he's just chilling, and then I bet she doesn't deem him as, like, a threat. She's just like, oh, just big dumb skull dude, like, whatever. I think she's too confident. She's like, he's whatever.
Turning people into washing machines and shit. Like,
I remember seeing an article, or maybe it wasn't an article, or maybe it was in an interview, or I think it was in like an iceberg video.
I like those.
That was sorry. I realized that was such an explosive reaction. Just fucking, it was in a.
Oh, you're good, man.
God, now I lost what the hell I was going to say. Come on, what was this?
Iceberg.
Yes, it was in an iceberg video. That somewhere apparently in the manual, it's mentioned that Mumbo is the one that taught Gruntilda her magic,
Oh.
and that's why he. Like it's hinted at or something but that's apparently possibly what the canon explanation is that Mumbo taught Grunty and now he's infiltrated her lair to help Banjo take her down.
Maybe he was like teaching her, and it's like an Anakin situation.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
But there's mention of that.
and she's down to kill kids
Apparently, dude.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
and cats and whatever, So you beat her, and the Ginginator knocks her off the lair, and then trapping her under a boulder, which is where Tui picks up.
Yep.
Which is
so
really,
cool.
really cool. Yeah,
I gotta
Yep.
say
So cool.
it is endearing that Klungo spent 2 entire years trying to get that
Yeah.
boulder off of her.
That's
what loyalty there.
That's commitment.
super loyalty.
Yeah.
I also like that you do get to see Spiral Mountain at night at the end of Banjo Kazooie.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only time we see Klungo, right? Except for the beginning?
Except for the cutscenes, yeah. Because you see him...
And the game over.
Do you see him in the beginning?
I'm trying to figure that out. I don't
think
know.
you do. I think you only see him in the...
No, you see him, I think, when you go into the waterfall in Spiral Mountain or something, right?
Do you?
That's... In Banjo-Kazooie, the only thing in the waterfall is...
Is that honeycomb?
Oh, am I thinking Tooie?
No, it's a...
Life.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Tooie, you can go behind the waterfall and...
There's like a whole area back there.
Yeah, but I don't think Klungo's back there. Klungo is...
In that cave.
Yeah, that the digger...
Oh.
Gigs.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's easy to get them mixed up.
There's so much going on.
Yeah.
So good.
So after that, she calls out the Klungo, just like save me for 2 years. 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the first text of Banjo-Tooie is 2 years have passed since...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did it come out in 2000?
I believe so.
Tooie did, right?
It might have been 2001, I don't remember, but I do know that my dad got it for me for Christmas, and it might be the single greatest gift I've ever been given.
Hell yeah. Good gift.
Banjo-Tooie release.
So it ends up cutting the Banjo, Bottles, Kazooie, Tootie, and Captain Blubber are on a beach on vacation, and there's also a human in a bikini.
Oh yeah, carrying the melons.
What are you doing here? What? It's so weird.
That is definitely weird.
Yeah.
That's almost on the level of Sonic the Hedgehog getting that human kiss in Sonic 06.
Oh, I will have a Sonic 06 episode. I will.
I never did complete that, but I will say that I didn't find it, when I played it at age 14, I didn't find it to be as bad as I later found out to be.
That's about what age I played it at, too. I really need to revisit it. It's the only time I played it, really.
I really, really enjoyed Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. I still, to this day...
Sonic Adventure 2 is on the schedule.
God, I love that game so much,
So,
dude.
you want to be on that one?
I would love to.
The battle version, specifically.
That's the one that I played the most. The only other one that I ever played was the Steam version, which I'm currently playing through. I actually have not gotten all 100 and whatever emblems to unlock Green Hill Zone. That's what I'm currently trying to work towards.
Ooh,
but
I didn't know you could do that.
I have played it just over and over and over again throughout my life. All the 3D Sonics after Adventure 2, I haven't completed. Haven't, finished them. Just because they didn't... Except Frontiers.
I haven't played... I need to play Frontiers. I haven't
Frontiers
really
is okay.
dabbled in Sonic that much, honestly.
Oh, I'm a big Sonic guy. I have Sonic tattooed right next to Banjo-Kazooie.
So you want to be on all the Sonic episodes.
So many video game tattoos. That's freaking awesome.
Same arm. They're right next to him.
That's awesome.
Corey, I got a question for you. Justin, we've touched upon this, but I want to ask Corey next.
Sure.
Do you or have you, well, not do you, because I'm sure you're busy with other games, but have you ever played Toontown?
No, but I'm aware of it, and I've heard that it is actually insanely fun.
It is
and,
awesome.
I'm in their Discord community.
I played back in the day, and then as an adult, I got Toontown rewritten. I've been playing it for years, and it's not that it's hard, but there's so much to do, and so much... When you have to complete a certain task, it's a lot of work and hours to do so. So if you ever get an account,
I never did try out any of the games that were massive online multiplayer.
You used to have to pay for it.
And all those RuneScape,
I love RuneScape.
Warcraft games. I never did try them. I bet I'd like them.
Shit, me and my wife currently play World of Warcraft Classic.
I feel like I'm too old to go back and try to be good at it. I feel like I would just suck because when I tried to So a couple years back, I went and played all the Halos just because I felt like I needed to. And when I tried to play online for the first time,
fucked up.
Dude, there is no way I'm ever going to catch up to these people.
Oh yeah,
these guys have been playing it from like a different time.
Right. I tried playing online on Halo, the first one, on the Master Chief Collection, and god damn, I was getting wrecked.
Yeah, but I can face off in Star Fox 64 against somebody, but like nobody wants to do that today. And same with like Mario Kart 64 and like Banjo Tooie's multiplayer.
Toontown is kind of calculated in a sense. Like you can't really be good at it because it depends on like how much you've done in the game.
Right, it's like a normal MMO, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you can't just like be good or bad at it. It depends on your character's level and how far you are in the game and stuff. So like everybody's kind of on the same playing field, but a lot of people are in our age range because we're the only ones who know about it.
I didn't know about it. The rewritten
one.
Seeing
commercials for it too.
Yeah,
me too.
I used to have to pay for it back in the day, and now there's still like chat restrictions, so you kind of have to like. You have to
like Club Penguin.
Yeah, you have to like go around the words a little bit. But the people that I have slightly become friends with or meet up with on there, and we actually get in a real conversation that's not about the game, they're in this age range.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll jump into that.
Like AQW, Venture Quest Worlds. I love that. Oh, I played the hell out of that.
I did
it's
once
a fun
try,
community there.
There's this shit called a chat. It's on Steam. Chat something. VR chat is what it's called.
Of mine, or
It's
teenager plays that. I want to hop on there and fuck around. Hey, have you played the Resident Evil 4 VR?
No, dude. Honestly, I was kind of afraid to because my biggest phobia is, it's going to sound stupid, but encountering a plesiosaur underwater. Like specifically, like encountering some Loch Ness monster shit. That's my biggest phobia.
Playing that part in VR is so good, dude, man.
I actually,
you pick up the harpoons and you actually throw them. It's
yeah, but
so
if you
amazing.
Fall into the water, do you see through Leon's eyes? Because if so, then I'm not doing it.
No, you do not.
Okay, very good.
It cuts back to third person.
I saw a TikTok literally, specifically, of a plesiosaur getting up in your face in murky water on TikTok.
On a VR?
No, it's just like a little video. It's something.
It's
something I've only seen it like in my dreams, because I used to have like nightmares of like coming face to face with a plesiosaur underwater. And
underwater stuff fucks with me in general.
Oh my god, dude! Yes,
I
was never afraid of.
I haven't played Subnautica.
I feel like because there's no plesiosaurs in there, I'd be okay, but I wouldn't want to play it VR.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah.
But real quick before we finish this up, but yeah, that Resident Evil 4 VR, you know the fight with the Predator type guy that comes from the vents, the invisible one,
Verdugo.
Yeah, him in VR was like one of the most terrifying things I've ever come across.
Oh, dude, that makes me want to try that now.
It was
Verdugo is badass, dude. He's just intimidating.
And the cool thing is you can dual wield in the VR version. You can have
really?
you can have a sniper rifle in one hand and your fucking TMP in the other. It's real cool.
You can carry a knife and a firearm at the same time.
Yes.
That's badass.
Yeah, and the cool, like, when you reach for your shotgun, you have to reach behind your back and pull it out, actually. Like, yeah.
I saw that you have to, like, actually reload.
Yeah.
Reach for ammo.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That's a weird way to consider playing that game, because that's another game. Like, there's a handful of games that I've just played to fucking death. And
4 is one of them for me.
Resident Evil 4, the original one, is one of those for me. Another is Sonic Adventure 2. Another one's Ocarina of Time. Obviously, Banjo Kazooie, Star Fox 64. But Resident Evil 4, yes, is I actually took it to the extreme. And on my Switch, my Resident Evil 4 file has 99999, like the maximum amount of money that you can get. It took me like close to, it was like 20-ish playthroughs or some shit to get all the way to that.
Fucking good job.
It was just stupid, dude, how long it took. And thank you.
But it's a fun game to repeat, though, you know.
It is.
Let's finish this.
Sure. Sorry.
You're fine. So, yeah, we talked about the ending already. I think we're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just you get a cutscene related to Stop and Swap,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get another scene of Klungo trying to move the boulder after the credits, which is cool little touches. Um, yeah, that's Banjo Kazooie. We did it
Yeah.
in
Hell
just under
yeah.
3 hours.
Yay.
And there's barely anything I have to cut. There's only like 10 minutes of stuff I have to cut. That's crazy. That was good shit.
Feel free to cut some of those sorries. That apologetic fucking. I'm always worried I'm interrupting people and stuff. It's just a habit.
It's gonna happen, especially a 3-person call.
And we're all so passionate about the
Yeah.
conversation we're having. Like
That's the hard part, man.
that's
It's like I have
great.
so much to say, and it's
I know. At the same time, we're all like, "Oh shit!" We all have our own thing we want to yell out real quick.
All right.
So much fun though. I had so much fun.
So
yeah, dude, this was badass. I enjoyed myself.
thank you. I'm glad you guys liked it. And it
Yeah,
went
thank
well.
you
Welcome, my
for
friend.
the
Thanks
invite.
for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you for being on. You can email me at neverenoughgaming@outlook.
Okay.
Anybody out there, and you can just tell me what episode, tell me if there's a game you want to discuss, and we'll fucking discuss it. I don't care. You want to talk about a early 2000s Flash game? Let's do it. I love Flash games.
yeah.
Talk about mobile games? Fuck it. Let's talk about Subway Surfers. Is there anything you two want to plug? And if you want, I can put links in the description for anything you want people to go to.
Yeah, I guess follow my TikTok. My name is Dominique Boule, DOMINIQUEBOULE. And you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, but I'm more on TikTok now because the world has changed. But I've had a YouTube channel for over a decade, so you can find me at the same handle on there. But yeah, that's me.
You can follow. My main thing is like music. I actually don't do any like game streaming or anything like that. I do a lot of like cover songs, original music, and I play a lot of live shows. And I've got a YouTube, a TikTok, a Facebook, an Instagram, and it's all the same, just Corey Kipps, COREYKIPPS. And I do sometimes incorporate like comedy into some of the stuff that I do as well. And yeah, follow me.
Sweet. All right, and I'll talk to y'all after, and I'll figure out what links to put in the description.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I
All
got
right.
all this. I got all the socials. You can type in my name anywhere, and there I am.
All right, I think that's about it. I will end the
Cool.
recording, and then we'll talk for a minute after it. Thanks. I hope y'all
Thank
had
you.
fun listening.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
Bye.